And you're very welcome here to Kingspan Breffni in County Cavan for this, of course, Glen Dimplex Premier Junior All-Ireland Camogie semi-finals. Who will be in Croke Park on August the 10th? Well, by about 4:30 this evening, we should have an idea. My name is Killian Whelan, and as I say, between now and then, bringing you the best of the action here in these semi-finals. Of course, we're back in a venue that hosted, of course, two cracking All-Ireland finals back during COVID in late 2020. So hopefully we get something of the entertainment that we had that day. Joining me here to have a quick look at the game are Paddy Dwyer from Laois and Kieran Goff from Wicklow. Both men, I'm sure, well known in the camogie circles. Paddy, I'm going to start with you. Laois on an upward trajectory. A bit of hurt from last year. 3 finals, 3 single point losses. Point to prove maybe in getting back to Croke Park, is it?
Yeah, big point to prove, but hopefully we get back there today. Going to face Wicklow now today, and no mean feat, so it's not. Wicklow have their homework done. They're very strong. They have junior championships at club level. Everything they're building all the time.
And they're one that you probably, you can't take your eye off the ball, especially at this stage.
No eye off the ball. That's at the end of the day, we've a job to do here today. And the boys, the management, the team, they prepared themselves for it. And we're just hoping we get out the far side of the line.
Can I ask, with the National League success, did it ease a little bit of pressure, let's say, on this group that they can win big matches?
Yeah, I would have said it eased the thing after winning 3 finals last year, losing by a pint in all of them. It was heartbreaking for them. They really pushed last year. This year then they came out and they made a decision to push on and try and get themselves back. So a win was a good confidence boost for them. Yeah.
Okay, Paddy, well, thanks for joining us from a Laois point of view. Kieran Goff, well known, of course, as a man in the middle as well around camogie circles. But Kieran, Wicklow probably will be an envy of some of the counties across the country. The performance and the effort and everything that you've put in to, since you obviously came back into the whole adult scene and everything like that over the last number of years, has been massive. And you've had some great success with club, as Paddy mentioned, and obviously the county's starting to build again.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, we've had good success at underage last couple of years, and this is obviously coming into this team, especially even this year we had the minor under 16, or the minor and the under 16 C All-Irelands. So look, most of the girls that are playing here have actually won an All-Ireland across the last couple of years. So there is, and admittedly at C level, but we have been building. You go back a year or two, we were losing matches like today by 50 points, 40 points. We're not we're coming here to be competitive today. Look, it's a massive task for us to get over. This Laois team is made up of wonderful camogie players all over the field. So look, at the start of this season, our ambition was to make a Premier Junior semi-final for the first time ever. We've achieved that, and we're now in, we have a real shot here today at having a go in a 50-50 encounter. And if we play to our best of our potential, we put up a really good performance here today, well then we're in with a shot here. But admittedly, this Laois team is fantastic, and I wouldn't be backing against them at this point in time. But look, we're delighted with the progress we've made across the last number of years. This is actually fulfilling a bit of that progress. There's a lot of work still to do, but the work that has gone in by all the girls, by the management teams across all those teams, it says today to pay off, and to be within 60 minutes at Croke Park. Absolutely delighted to be here today.
Right, well, you've said it all, wrapped up. I don't need to ask you anymore. Thanks to Paddy and Kieran for joining me. We're heading up to our commentary position, and we're just about to throw in at 1 o'clock for Laois against Wicklow. And welcome back up here to the press box. As you can see from our camera, obviously come to Kingspan Breffni Park. Nice height to look at matters down on the playing surface. Both teams, Wicklow to the town end. And Laois off here to our right hand side, the scoreboard end predominantly. Here now at Kingspan Breffni. Match officials coming across the field there, as you can just see Laois breaking away. And match official today will be Francie Caldwell from Down. Standby is John Burke from Galway, Bernard Heaney from Meath. Lisa Bannon is the fourth official from Cavan. And Sarah Cochran from Galway is the fifth official here this afternoon. Action getting underway shortly. Wicklow still in their huddle, so quickly give you the Laois team. It will start with three changes from what's in the match programme, but as most people, if you're a Laois fan and you're watching this, you might have seen on social media the changes were announced last night. But it will be Aideen Lowry of Camross in goal, Laura Finlay of St Bridget's, Ellen Conroy of O'Moores and Fiona Scully of Camross. Then coming in wearing number 26 is Sarah Cray of St Bridget's. She replaces Shona Jones. Clodagh Tynan of St Bridget's is the captain, and then it's Alice Walsh from the Harps. At centre field, it's Alana Tynan, and Linda Keys of Camross comes in for Lucy Conroy. It's Kaylee O'Keefe, Kirsten Keenan and Grania Delaney. And then in the full forward line, it's Susie Delaney of Portlaoise. Camross is Amy Collier, and Emer Hassel St Bridget's comes in for Amy Daly as we get action underway here. And it's very quickly Wicklow getting into position and possession. Wicklow probably knowing that they need to get off to a good start here against this Laois team, who many people will fancy will be getting back to Croke Park. The Wicklow team, no changes. Leanne Lively is in goal from Annacurra. It's Faye Corrigan of Kiltegan, Casey Kelly, the captain of Donard, Glen and Braham. It's Jay and Butler, Hannah Doyle of Annacurra, Emer O'Toole of Kiltegan, and Sarah Doyle of Annacurra. At centre field, it's Knockanana's Shannon Gutlin alongside Sophie Birmingham of Kiltegan as Laois get in here for an early opportunity. Ball is batted away by the keeper, still up there, has to be knocked down the edge of the square. Second strike at it, and the ball is put to the back of the net. Not a whole lot everybody could do, but the one that was there to be able to get on that quickly was of course the corner forward for Laois, and that ball put to the back of the net by Susie Delaney. She had the original strike. It was batted away well by Leanne Lively. But that's the start probably Wicklow didn't want. Laois getting the goal here in the opening minute as Wicklow tried to get the ball down the end of the field. The half forwards are Roisin Byrne of Knockanana, Sive Byrne of Donard Glen, and Aoife Nickdonica of Bray Emmets. Full forward line of Ashing O'Toole, Kiltegan, Elizabeth Burke of Arklow Rock Parnells, and Ciara Connolly of Ockram. So that opening goal. Apologies about the numbers. We will do our best. It's the one gripe I do have with the Laois jersey this year. Manufacturers, if you're listening, what are you trying to do to us? But anyway, we will try our best. As I said, marking it out with Kaylee O'Keefe, red helmet. Ball went inside towards Delaney, but it was cut off. It's a bit of a fly cut away, and Amy Collier is able to use her strength there to hold off, and she will have a strike at the post, but that's gone out to the left and wide. Match official, as you said, Francis Caldwell from Down. Down, of course, last weekend, bowing out of the intermediate championship. They lost out to Kerry, 2 goals in a minute, if you remember that day. Saw Kerry ultimately advance. Tree Stigan with her 1-7 definitely helping. As Wicklow get on this ball into the Premier Junior semi-final for the first time in their history. As you heard from Kieran Goff and Paddy Dwyer before the game, blocked down there on Gotlin. Shanna, of course, a very experienced player, has won Nancy Murray Cups with her county. Wicklow, of course, putting back-to-back titles after that infamous loss above in Inishkeen, wasn't it? And if a Cavan legend is listening in, Rosie Crow McKeever, remember that day Tyrone snaffling a goal with the last puck of the game that took the Nancy Murray Cup back to Tyrone? Well, Wicklow now have got 2 on the bounce, and that sees them up at Premier Junior this year, of course. And they're here in a semi-final. But Laois are the ones that are looking to get back up to the grade of intermediate, but they know they have to be winning Premier Junior titles before they can do that. That shot from Grania Delaney went out to the right and wide. So Laois with 2 quick wides, but they've also got the goal that came from Susie Delaney in the opening seconds of this game. Her original shot blocked away by Lan Lively. And then in the subsequent confusion, I suppose, on the edge of the square, and credit to Delaney, she just moved her way around the back of the ruck and got the ball off. Ball is in the hand of Laois' Alana Tynan, and then very quickly moved down the far end of the field. Wicklow under white, of course, with their yellow splash and the blue shorts. In some cases there might be skirts out there, as this ball over on the far side, left behind. Laois, of course, have already beaten Wicklow by 7 points in the opening round of the championship. Wicklow not giving up on this, with Aoife Nick Donica getting this ball forward. Laois have numbers there, and it looks like it's the Sarah Cray, number 26, could be Linda Keys either, just the 26-25, just hard to decipher, but the ball came all the way back out, and it's Ciara Connolly from Ockram has got that ball on the board. A bit of a loose clearance by Laois, and after 5 minutes, good response, I suppose, to the goal. And it's a point there for corner forward Ciara Connolly. Puck out to come then from Aideen Lowry, well versed, of course, in the nets for Laois. Coming across onto this ball now is Grania Delaney. Delaney loses the footing, trying to get it to the other rail helmet over here. Kaylee O'Keefe, who was out in a bit of gap, but here comes Gotland. Gotland out, getting away from some of the attentions of her immediate opponent. And that is the number 8. That's a lovely ball inside, and looking to play it on here is Sive Byrne. Ball is in there, Lowry came out. Byrne is still there. Laois at 6s and 7s, they're trying to get an opportunity. Wicklow looking to dig it out, but it's on the back of the ruck that Laois are able to eventually clear. Looked like it might have been close to steps there, but referee allowing the play to go on, and Cray delivers over here. The two red helmets coming together, and they've probably got in each other's way as Wicklow look to get that ball forward, but that's a great play there by the number 10 jersey of Kaylee O'Keefe from the Abbey League St. Lazarians club. And the sideline cut to be taken by Grania Delaney. As I said, apologies if we make an error on some of the players. I'm quickly trying to work out helmets here, so we don't. But Laois numbers practically impossible to make out as that ball is knocked down into the corner. Making a bit of a run is Emer Hassett. She's trying to get into the middle, but it's Delaney now looking to find a ball across there towards Linda Keys. But the referee says he was playing an advantage. And a chance for Laois then. So into the town end here is the lady that's scoring chief on the place balls, Amy Collier, daughter, of course, of joint manager Pat from the Camross club. Amy now a very strong servant of this Laois Camogie team. Has a strike at this and puts it over the bar. And 6 coming up on the 7th minute gone. And it's a goal and a point for Laois, a point for Wicklow. Puck out to come then from Leanne Lively, who had that good save from Delaney. Ball is out here towards Kaylee O'Keefe, though, in a bit of space. She was all on her own. It wasn't a great puck out. Or maybe the puck out was fine. It was maybe the movement of the players as Hassett trying to get a strike off on this, and the ball is heading towards the post. It's up and over the bar. Susie Delaney with that point, and that's quick response then from Laois. Pat Collier urging them on again down here, himself and Robert Jones looking to get Laois back to Croke Park. Of course, a 1 point loss last year. Hard look it was Laois all last year. Of course, National League lost by a point, Leinster final lost by a point, All-Ireland final to Tipperary lost by a point in a game that Tipperary were expected to absolutely lord over Laois. But credit that Laois team, they were right in the mix until the closing stages. But they know if they want to be operating at a grade, probably a lot of players feel, or maybe a lot of, I suppose, people outside might feel that Laois should be operating really a grade above. They know they have to win, and it's not easy win. Armagh and Roscommon still, and Wicklow still in their way ahead of being in Croke Park on the 10th of August. That, of course, is All-Ireland final day. Premier Junior will be at 1 o'clock, Intermediate at 3, and the Senior final at 5:15. Don't forget the Senior semi-finals next weekend, live from UPMC Nolan Park, will be on television coverage. There's a foul committed there on Wicklow's number 12, Aoife Nick Donegan. And it's a free at their number 9, Sophie Birmingham, famous name around Kiltegan, is going to stand on. Strike from Sophie, having over the top of that blue spot, we call it here in Kingspan Breffni Park. That's a fine score from Sophie Birmingham, getting her account up and running here after 9 minutes of play. Don't forget, we're live on this link all day through the second game that's at 3 o'clock. Looked like a foul there on Delaney, but referee allowed the play to continue. Didn't give an advantage, but snaffling it up there. Sophie Birmingham over on the far side as Wicklow attack from left to right. They're defending the town goal here in Kingspan Breffni Park. See a number of people querying the venue as to why Laois and Wicklow were brought here, but it was always going to be a double header. And then, as we know, finding venues, and this venue was announced a good number of weeks ago. Both management teams happy that they knew where the venue was and were able to plan accordingly. And I think to have a county ground available to play All-Ireland semi-finals is exactly what you want, promoting the game. Same as getting to use Cedral St. Conleth's Park last week here in Kingspan Breffni. And I suppose good for Cavan Camogie as well that they were able to host this game here at Kingspan Breffni. So strike here for Collier into the town end. You can see the Glen Dimplex sign behind the goal there as this ball is struck by Amy and over the bar. And she has her eye in early here, and that could spell trouble for this Wicklow team. If they foul, she's going to be able to hit them over from any angle. At the minute anyway, she's 2, and it's 1-3 to 2 points. Ball is played into the corner now where looking to get there, Kristen Keenan. Heard a shout from Collier. Ball is using some of her football skills to try and get that ball away. There's still a bit of football going on here between the players. And Wicklow's number 7, that's Sarah Doyle from Annacurra. Would have been involved, of course, in winning a club title. On to Donarda Glen, Sive Byrne, being very, very strong, Sive, in the opening stages here, knocking the ball down into the corner where the referee says that there was a push on the point score and the opening score for Wicklow. Ciara Connolly. And it's a free in. As we said, Laois and Wicklow met in the round 1 of the group, 2-13 to 2-6 in favour of Laois. Laois went on then to beat Roscommon, Loud, Tyrone and Armagh last weekend was a 5-11 to 20 points. While Wicklow did succumb to the other teams that are here today, Roscommon and Armagh, they did beat Tyrone and Loud as that ball though is knocked in and it's gone out to the left and wide from Sophie. 12th minute of the game. It's the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Premier Junior Camogie Championship semi-finals. Already in Croke Park on the 10th of August are Kerry and Offaly. They will be in the intermediate final at 3 o'clock that day. Who will be in the Premier Junior from 1 o'clock? Will it be Laois, Wicklow, Roscommon and Armagh? Well, we'll know this afternoon because there has to be winners on the day. So extra time will happen. As this ball is in the hand now of Sarah Cray, the St. Bridget's player on her own 65, drills a low ball in towards Collier there. Collier having to fight it out with Casey Kelly, the captain from Donarda Glen of this Wicklow team in their first ever Premier Junior semi-final. The work that's been done in Wicklow, as we talked about it with Kieran Goff, huge. But here go Laois now, have an advantage, going to strike through and go for the point. And it looks like it's there's a Grania Delaney that came out with that. It looks like it is her running from that position. She could have went a little bit further possibly and hunted down a goal, but she took the point and puts that ball over the bar. As Wicklow come on the attack with Roisin Byrne. Roisin, of course, part of that Knocknanna team as well that has had All-Ireland success at club level. And as you heard from Kieran Goff, a number of these girls, of course, as well would have won All-Ireland's at club or with county. And great success in Wicklow at underage in the last while at All-Ireland level as his cut is made inside. Cray getting that ball away. putting the hand up here, looking for Linda Keys, and she gets it. Comes down along the line right here in front of us then. Good hook made on her there by Sophie Birmingham, and it's allowed Gotland to get in, or in fact it's centre back Emer O'Toole to get in and drive the ball forward to Sive Byrne. Sive, fantastic effort. She's definitely one that's standing out for Wicklow. Just has been very, very strong out there, and demanded that ball from Sive Byrne and absolutely hammered it over the bar. And Wicklow just letting Laois know they're not going away too handy here. Aideen Lowry of Camross then ready with the puck out. Strike. The breeze there is there, and you can see, get a chance maybe with Luke on camera here today for entry. Might be able to show you the flag. It's blown towards the town a little bit, but down in on the pitch, as we know, because there's a bit of a height gap between the flag and the pitch. Breeze is not as much. Looked like a foul on the Wicklow player there going through, but the ball was able to be given off. Ciara Connolly gets a shout back here from Roisin Byrne. Byrne has to step around a bit of traffic and then hammer a ball in towards the point score. Sive Byrne, and is taken away by Laois, and I think Wicklow overcomplicated that, and Laois could they punish them. Ball goes over the head of everyone, and it's well played by Kaylee O'Keefe. Bit of a race on now to the sideline, gets it up at the first time of asking, comes back in on her favoured right side, looking towards that left hand upright, but it's tailed away out to the left and wide. She a bit unlucky there. She did everything right, got the strike away, just suppose the trajectory of the point wasn't the point shot option wasn't great. So with quarter of an hour gone of action here, 1-4-3. The goal was the opening score of the game. It came after 48 seconds from Susie Delaney. Had the original shot that was blocked by Leanne Lively, and Leanne batted it away. It just couldn't get out far enough, and Delaney was able to somehow get out around a bit of scrum that was on the edge of the square, get the ball back and not hammer it to the top corner of the net. As this ball breaks here, Wicklow looking to come out, and they're giving as good as they're getting here, Wicklow, now with their centre back Emer O'Toole. Wicklow crowd baying for a free there, but the referee allowing the play to continue. Wicklow in possession and looking to drive on now, asking, as he said, a few questions, and it's Gotland, very powerful and strong player, going to have a strike, but just you'd have to credit Sarah Cray there. I think got in her eye line, and Shanna probably needed to just pull the brake and re-establish connection as was to have a better strike, and that's gone out to the right and wide. Wicklow now with probably two wides at maybe just a bit more experience in this kind of situation, they would have taken a better option. But 1-4-3 still in this game after 16 minutes of play. Delaney trying to break onto it there. Of course, Grania, winner of a Purcell Cup earlier in the year, as this ball breaks over on that far side, and trying to get in and win it is Emer Hassett with the strike. That's an excellent score from a very, very tight angle. Made it all of her own after a bit of a ball that wasn't fantastic, and then with breathing down her neck, Emer Hassett was able to turn and put that ball over the bar. So good score from a Laois point of view, 1-5-3. So they're keeping Wicklow now at arm's length, and even at that, pushing the lead out a little bit. Wicklow probably, test of Laois now would be to maybe score a goal or something, but at the minute you'd see that going to be a little bit hard to get by, as Linda Keys puts the body on the line to try and go in there and take that ball away from Roisin Byrne. In there trying to dig it out as well, Sive Byrne, but referee said we're going to stop the play there, throw the ball in, and waiting for two players to come into the middle. Looks like Laois have won that ball, and it's Cray knocking it down along the wing here, looking for a bit of a run. Wicklow have numbers there, 3-2, and Amy Collier tried to get a touch on that ball, and she did, but knocked it out over the line, and it's going to be a sideline cut for Wicklow down to our left hand side here. You're watching the coverage of the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Premier Junior Camogie Championship semi-finals. It's Laois and Wicklow first up. Coming up at 3 o'clock, it's Armagh and Roscommon for the right to play in Croke Park on the 10th of August. Tickets at camogie.ie. Brian Malloy making a passionate appeal to Camogie fans out there to fill Croke Park and try and put the biggest crowd that have attended the All-Ireland Camogie finals this year. And we'll wait and see the passionate plea from Brian, and hopefully people will come out on the day. So 1-5 to 3 points down below us here. We're just on the Wicklow 65 metre line or thereabouts, between that and the halfway. Not a bad spot to be in. It's right in front of us though. Taking this free is Sophie Birmingham, dropping it in about 13 metres out. Ball drops onto the ground. Trying to get a stick on it there is Elizabeth Burke, but looks like it's been dragged back into a bit of a scrum a bit. Byrne is there as well. Laois looked like they had it and then lost it. It's just been kicked along the ground now. Lots of legs, and Hurley's going in there trying to dig it out. Looks like Laois might just have got enough to take it away from the danger area, and the referee says that Fiona Scully was fouled there, and it's going to be a free out. As he said, apologies to Laois fans out there. I'm sure you know these girls quite well from their demeanour. I would know a few, but it's hard to make out the jersey numbers just to qualify some of them. But anyway, Tynan with this fair strike over and this seems to be a target this side, but it's kicked over the head there of Kaylee O'Keefe, and she's used that kind of move a couple of times, luring the Wicklow player out the field a little bit and then using her pace to get onto it, but that ball just overcooked a little bit. 1-5-3 anyway. Laois continue to lead here, going along expected lines as anyone would say, but looked like a foul committed there as Roisin Byrne tried to get on that ball, but linesman or referee didn't spot it. Wicklow manager appealing that it should have been spotted, and that's a good turn away now here, looking to get in on goal. Delaney with this other opportunity, but she hits the deck. Referee says get up. Now he's pulling it back, and if he's pulling it back, is he going to call for something bigger here? He's gone in to talk to these umpires, I think. Well, that's inside the large square. Don't think there can be any other option here. If he judges that it's a free, it's going to be a penalty on the 20 metre line, but he's not made any gesticulation to it. But it looks like the players seem to know. And now the hands go out from Francis Caldwell. So Amy Collier up against Leanne Lively. And I would imagine Wicklow are not going to be happy with this, because they would feel just before that ball was launched in, a Wicklow player was fouled as she tried to make a run onto it, and maybe if that free was given, we wouldn't be in this situation. Anyway, here we go. Amy Collier up against Lively. Collier with the low strike. Ball is just unlucky. Lively, I think, was keeping an eye to the left-hand side, and the ball just went between her feet and into the back of the net. But I can't imagine Rob O'Neill is going to be overly happy. But that goal has been conceded from the penalty spot, and it comes here as time pushing on now in the second half, the 22nd minute. So penalty goal from Amy Collier, 1-2, as that ball is launched long. Coming out of it is Lively. Lively's just been a little bit unfortunate with both goals, I would think. I'm not sure Amy Collier got a great connection on it. That ball is driven in, but it's out to the left and wide from over on that far side from Grania Delaney. So Lively saved the subsequent first shot from Susie Delaney in the opening seconds and batted the ball away, but then was a bit unsighted. There was a number of players in front for when Susie Delaney then hammered it to the top corner of the net, and then with that penalty, just, I suppose, Lively a little bit unlucky. May have took her eyes, may not have seen the ball. I think was probably just keeping an eye on that her left hand corner, but the ball was actually driven straight at her and just unlucky to go in off her boot. But as I said, Wicklow trying their damnedest here as that ball is hand passed out by Casey Kelly, trying to find Sarah Doyle, but Laois looked like they put a bit of pressure on there. Emer Hassett and Delaney. Collier was trying to play that ball inside, but it's taken away by Wicklow's number 2, Faye Corrigan from Kiltegan. And it's Wicklow now looking to drive on. Good, strong, powerful run now, and they have a bit of an overlap here. If they can maybe isolate Laois here a little bit. Good strike, and the ball is out to the right and wide. Good strong run by Elizabeth Burke. I actually think Elizabeth could have kept going there, but that's counted as a wide. They had players open there, and maybe, as I said now, a goal and 2 points potentially that Wicklow have just been guilty of coughing up. Could have been closer in this game. always going to be hard. It's if, buts and maybes, but definitely for me, they'll feel hard done by the penalty after the foul. Definitely, to me, was a foul right here in front of the Wicklow dugout and ourselves, but not spotted by the officials, and the subsequent clearance in around the square saw Delaney fouled Susie Delaney, and the ball then from Amy Collier eventually finding the back of the net here. So right in front of us then is the free taker Sophie Birmingham. Got a fine point after 9 minutes, has had a miss as well, but right in the halfway line now is not Sophie but Emer O'Toole dropping this ball in, and the referee says a foul committed there on Laois' number 4 Fiona Scully. I would imagine Robert Jones and Pat Collier happy. Looking for this freedom. It's Claudia Tynan standing all over this, looking for movement. Looking to hit the corner, and it looks like it's the left corner that they're going for, and that's a ball over the top of everybody's head. It looks like Amy Collier was the target, but maybe it's going to be Susie Delaney that's going to win it. She does. She has an option outside. She plays the ball low to Kaylee O'Keefe. O'Keefe looking to step inside. This could be a score all of her making, and it's up and over the bar. Kaylee O'Keefe, I suppose for her perseverance down along this line, deserves that score. And Laois now 25 minutes gone, kicking on. Went into a bit of a lull, but now in the last few minutes kicking on again. Ball out to the middle. Gets the Tynan. Tynan, oh, look at this ball now. Laois in a 3-3. Trying to get the ball in position. Hassett, oh, dropping this ball in is a dangerous enough one. Lively's got to be careful. Oh, Tynan is there. Not Tynan, Collier, I should say. And she's batted the ball to the back of the net. Apologies. It was, of course, Amy Collier. And that's a dangerous enough ball. It was just on the angle and the upright, and Lively just had to bat it away. She just didn't get enough on it, and that ball then put to the back of the net by Amy Collier. And you just can't give her opportunities like that. 26 minutes gone, and Laois looks like they're putting this game to bed in the first half here. 3-6 to 3 points to lead. Hard to believe it was only a 4-point game at one stage. But Laois, as I said, starting now to go up the gears a little bit and maybe putting pressure on. That looked like a bit of a wild swing there by Elizabeth Burke, but play allowed to continue, in the clearance by Sarah Cray. Down here towards the lady of the hour, Amy Collier, 2 goals and a point and 2 points to her name. Getting inside now, looking towards that left hand upright, tight to it, but it's over from our angle. And that's Amy Collier kicking Laois for home here. Dad Pat and co-manager Robert, we happy how Laois have reacted then as that ball poked out, and the Wicklow heads out dropping a little bit as that ball went in, and it's gone out to the right and wide there. Anya's just been a little bit off on the old trajectory over on that side. 3 wide, so I have against her. Laois playing with whatever breeze is out there. You can, some of the flags though are limp on the pitch and some are blown. It depends on where the gap is. As we know, if you've ever been in Kingspan Breffni Park, it's a bit of a bowl, and the breeze where the flag is, the tricolour, blowing quite strong from the country side down to the town end here, the main street in Cavan Town. But we were down on the pitch before the off, and you wouldn't really feel it, so not sure it's affecting the play too much as Wicklow come on the attack. Wicklow trying to drive forward here now with Aoife Donica. Looked like she was held up a little bit, but she gets the ball here to Sive Byrne. Sive Byrne blocked down. She's definitely a danger that Laois seem to have recognised now and are blocking that off. Wicklow, of course, don't forget, had a situation where they had a 3-on-2 and elected to drive for the ball with their full forward. Now here to come in again, Susie Delaney was thinking about getting it to Hassett, but well played by the Wicklow defence. A bit of a loose ball though, and it's picked up here by Grania Delaney. Does well, using the physique there to bat away. Not a great shot option though, and it's off to the right and wide. Poor shot there. 3-7 to 3 points, and maybe you're allowed them at this point, but 3 wides from Grania now in the last 6 minutes as this ball breaks over on this side. Picked up there by their number 8, Alana Tynan. Ball is getting forward there towards Amy Collier. The referee says it was a bit of a high challenge on the Wicklow number 8, Shanna Gatlin. At least just have got to grips around the middle. The impacts of the runners of Gatlin and Birmingham, Sive Byrne, the last few minutes, last 5 to 8 minutes have not been as strong. But I still think that Elizabeth Burke chance could, it came after the Laois penalty, the goal, but just feel if she could have gone a little bit further. She had players left and right. She elected to take a shot just as a Laois player came in to tackle her, and it went out to the right and wide. But just some of the running now that Wicklow have quite strong runners, as I said, in Gatlin, Birmingham, Byrne, even Nick Donica at times. And we have seen with Elizabeth Burke, Laois definitely have started to choke up that middle a little bit more. 3-7 to 3 points. It looks harsh in Wicklow, and as he said, Laois just turning the screw. A goal and 3 points in the space of 5 minutes. 2 goals and 3 points, I should say, in the space of 5 minutes. The difference here, 1 minute of additional time to be marked out by Lisa Bannon there from Cavan, the 4th official, being helped out by Sarah Cochran from Galway. Ball played into the corner. Wicklow have withdrawn that little bit. That ball goes in there and it's gone out to the right and wide. I'm sure Rob O'Neill would have been thinking to half time, maybe with the breeze on her back second half, but we needed to keep competitive. And the concession of the 2 goals, that really has now asked an awful lot of questions. Now it all depends on how much Laois win by or how much Wicklow want to narrow the gap. Good ball by Cray towards Collier. Has the run of Kaylee O'Keefe. O'Keefe has an opportunity to give it to Linda Keys outside. Or Keys looking to play a lovely dinky ball inside. Oh, nearly took on the first go. Emer Hassett has a second bite of the cherry. Gets around the Wicklow player. Surely going to get a free, but she has the shot off. She's put it over the bar. A little bit of hard work for Emer Hassett there, but she took the score. And that might be our final blow of this first half. 3-8 to 3 points. But the referee allowing play to continue. 14-point gap, and that ball is batted into the hand there of Kaylee O'Keefe. Kaylee scoops it forward now towards Susie Delaney. Got the opening score of the game. As she added to that, she's put it over the bar. She's a goal and 2 points. The goal was the opening score of the game, and it pushes on Laois again. Now maybe the referee has seen enough, and Francis Caldwell calls for the ball. 3-9 to 3 points. This game, you'd have to say, is done and dusted here. No offence to Wicklow, they just can't cope with the Laois strong running of the likes of Grania Delaney, Kaylee O'Keefe, Susie Delaney. Just that inside forward line has just been tremendous. Ian Cooney's here watching the action today, and he's just going to give me a quick word. Ian, like Laois just showing their class out there.
Yeah, I thought Wicklow started well, Killian, but I suppose Laois, really, their full forward line of Susie Delaney, Amy Collier and Emer Hassett, they're running puck in. The space is being created for them, and Wicklow have tried hard, but they just can't live with the class of the Laois full forward line.
Looking at it as well, would the Wicklow manager have a fault around maybe the concession of the penalty? It looked like a clear foul here on a Wicklow player. Subsequent clearance went in around the edge. I don't know if you got to see it, but out of changes like that, maybe not spotted by the officials, and then a goal comes out. It's kind of harsh on them then, wasn't it?
Yeah, I suppose it just sums up Wicklow's luck maybe in that first half, that you don't get those decisions. And I suppose that when Susie Delaney was fouled, it was a pretty obvious penalty, even though it took the referee a long time to give it. But I think Wicklow, just even in the warm-ups, Killian, you could maybe, from my point of view anyway, I just thought that there was a more intensity in the Laois warm-up, and that just kind of spoke to me of Laois were a team that came here expecting to win, and I'm not sure if Wicklow really, deep down, thought that they were going to win this game. And even though they've been competitive, they've given it their all, Laois look like a team on a mission, and when you have the score getters in that full forward line, very, very difficult for any full back line to cope with that.
You're looking at now, I'm sure Rob is going to say to Wicklow, right girls, we have to go out and try our best to win the second half. I'm sure Pat Collier and Rob Jones here, and I'm looking at his backroom team as well, they're thinking of, is there girls we could give a run here now, because we're going to be fully expecting to be in Croke Park in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, look, the game looks done and dusted at this stage, Killian. You have to say that. Like 393 points is probably an unassailable lead. Very hard to see Wicklow pegging it back. But, you know, from Pat Collier's point of view, he won't want to drop off in intensity. I mean, you often see games like this where a team is so far ahead at half time that the second half becomes very, very hard to watch. And, you know, he'll be saying to his players now, you know, there's places up for grabs, you know, when we get to Croke Park, and I want every girl that is sent into action to do a job for me and to, you know, nail down their place for the All-Ireland final. So, you know, I think that's the message that's going to be in that Laois dressing with half time. In terms of Wicklow, it's just very, very hard now you just hope from Wicklow's point of view that it doesn't become a massacre or a cakewalk, that they show really some pride in the jersey in the second half. And, you know, there's good players in that Wicklow team, and I'm sure they will.
Right. Thanks, Ian, there for his views on the game as the Laois management head in then. As I imagine, what's the word that they're going to have more of the same in the second half. We would hope Wicklow will come out and give it a right cut as best as possible. But at the moment, it looks like Laois are well on board here for heading to the All-Ireland finals on the 10th of August. We'll take a break here for the moment. Rejoin us shortly. And you're welcome back here to Kingspan Breffni Park. Both teams back out on the pitch. And don't see any official changes just yet. Oh, hold on. Here we go. The scoreboard goes up. And it is 23-10. Don't know what team that is. So it will work it out, as the man says, as we go along here. And it's Laois straight away to get on the attack with Grania Delaney. Puts the ball over the bar. And Grania makes up for some of the efforts in that end of the first half. I wouldn't say she was overly happy with some of the strikes off that she got, but she got a fine one there right in front of the goal, tapped over the bar, and just keeps Wicklow in check as such. Ball out, batted down. It's Wicklow that have made the change there. So number 23, Tara Dorn from Carnew Emmets, she's in. And Roisin Byrne is the one that has made way. So free to Laois and normal service. Looks like it's going to kick on here. So Amy Collier standing over this. 2-3 to her name. 1-2 from place balls. Into the scoreboard end here at Kingspan Breffni Park. And that's up and over the bar. So Amy continuing her service here. That's now 2-3. All out to the middle. Grania Delaney missing the flight of that. Sarah Craig getting a touch on it. Delaney might get in there yet, but it's Sophie Birmingham that plays a nice ground stroke down into the corner now, looking for a little bit of a movement of her inside forward line. We haven't seen a whole lot of them because they haven't been allowed, and it's Ciara Connolly that got their opening score of the game, gets a ball inside, but it's Craig that's there, and Sarah, well adversed defender for her club and for Laois, gets in and wins that ball. Nice touch there, but a wrap across the ankles of Grania Delaney as she went forward there. And it's going to be, I'd say, the magic sponge or the free spray or something like that. She's up and moving. She said she's okay. Fair play, Grania. But she got a right wrap across that left ankle. And she's trying to run it off. It's Collier then standing over this. This is now, fortunately, this goes over the bar. 3 points in the opening 3 minutes. It came off a Laois hand that's gone out as a wide there. And Grania Delaney has now gone down. So I actually thought it came off a Laois hand, but it's been said it came off a Wicklow hand. So standing over it again now is Amy Collier then with this 45. Grania Delaney getting this touch. Oh, she didn't catch it particularly. Now what are they deciding? Now he's deciding it's a puck out. So bit of confusion, and I think it was the original. I was sure it came off of the hand of Laois full forward Kirsten Keenan. So it goes down then as a wide. Don't forget, second game is on the way as well. Armagh and Roscommon. Of course, lots of people would have picked out from the start of the year that Laois and Armagh would be the expected All-Ireland final on the 10th of August. And, well, we'll wait and see if Roscommon could be the fly in the ointment. Of course, Laois were coming in here on a vein of form, went through the group stages, winning all their matches. Division 3 winners. This year, 2025, far different to 2024. As getting on that ball now is Amy Collier. Dad Pat asking for it to be delivered. She sent it in towards Kirsten Keenan, who's now operating in his second half, in on the edge of the square. Ball is cleared away by Wicklow there, and it's out over the line. And it just, sorry to say it now, but Wicklow heads are, to me, are gone here, in the sense that they knew at half time the game, but just no drive here as the goalkeeper has to come out. Lively gets a good connection on it, in fairness, and gets it away out to her 45-metre line. Bit of ground hurling going on, good to see, but it's getting on this ball now. Linda Keys, playing a short ball in the direction of Emer Hassett. 2 points to her name. Hassett, Haslin and Harry, and Hassett still going, ducking and diving. This will be some score. Emer Hassett, one of the scores of the game. She never gave up on that ball. An absolute tiger. And 35th minute, Laois just keep trucking. Wicklow now struggling to get on the ball, and it's, as he said, hard to watch as they just can't get to grips with it. But I just think some of their enthusiasm went out of the game after the 2 goals conceded. But Sarah Doyle knocking this ball down. Their first ever Premier Junior semi-final. Let's not forget, you hope it doesn't knock back Wicklow, and that looked like a bit of a heavy challenge there. But Fiona Scully, she's been in a bit of a few battles and wars back there for Laois. She's definitely the one that's come out the most with a ball in difficult situations. She got a bit of a touch to the head there as she was coming. And physio just checking that she's okay before Claudia Tynan, the captain from St. Bridget's, stands over this ball. So it looks like we will have the Midlands well represented in Croke Park on the 10th of August. Looks like Laois on the way to Premier Junior. Intermediate, of course, will have Offaly. They will be taking on Kerry. Who will Laois meet? Well, Armagh and Roscommon come your way at 3 o'clock. The senior decider, of course, at 5:15. That will all be sorted out next week. 2 games on the national broadcaster, as this ball taken in by Hassett, done it very well as she got 2 on the bounce. No, she's dropping this ball in. Lively comes out, drops the ball left behind her. Delaney's trying to get in there and get a kick at it. Ball is on the ground. Also there's Collier. Could she get a hat-trick yet? Ball is on the ground. The Wicklow player falls. Ball is loose. Laois going to have a strike-off. Ball is still there. 7 or 8 players in around that ball now. Hard to call who's going to come out. Looked like the cornerback for Wicklow had it there, Faye Corrigan. And eventually, but Laois not giving up on it now. 1 Laois player in there amongst 5 Wicklow players. Laois players just hanging off in case the ball did come out. And the referee says that he's going to throw the ball in on the 20-metre line. 3-12 to 3 points. As I said in the opening stages, Wicklow were given as good as they got. It was 1-5 to 3 points. They were very much in the game, but that all changed. And as I said, with the goal from the penalty on 22, a goal then from Amy Collier on 26, and they rattled off 3 points in quick succession as well. He's decided it's a free in now, and Amy Collier has a chance here to knock this ball over the bar. And it's up and over. .313, 3 points. Loose puck out. And Laois just keep coming back. Grania Delaney, send this in. Lively is out. She got to get her hand up. She did very well, I have to say, there with Susie Delaney in around her, but this ball has been picked up by Keenan. Keenan gets the ball now. Here's an opportunity with a shot. Back at the net for Emer Hassett. What a second half she is starting to have. Goal and a point. And she's just been involved in everything for Laois at the start of the second half. Might be wearing 17, but she came in for Amy Daly. There was 3 changes for Laois. Sarah Cray, Linda Keys and Emer Hassett all starting in place of Shauna Jones, Lucy Conroy and Amy Daly. But I would imagine now Pat Collier, is he going to be thinking about making a few changes? Well, we'll wait and see. So we're live here at the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Premier Junior Camogie Championship semi-finals in Kingspan Breffni in Cavan Town. And the action, of course, seeing who will be in the All-Ireland final on the 10th of August. Well, Laois look underway. 4-13 now to 3 points. What a start to the second half. 1-4 in the opening 9 minutes of play. Wicklow haven't got beyond the Laois 65, other than chasing back maybe a Laois defensive ball. Tynan knocking this ball on. Oh, look at that ball in over Hassett now. Hassett being tracked all the way there by Sarah Doyle. Looking to get inside. Hassett being held up illegally, I would have thought. But credit Wicklow player Sarah Holden has it up there now. The ball comes in and try to break onto it. Here is Kirsten Keenan. Keenan shouldering off, having a shot. Ball is blocked away by the goalkeeper. Lively doing well there, and then a bit of a strong arm across. Referee says that it's going to be a free out. Kirsten probably could again went a yard or two. Rob Jones and Pat Collier just watching some of the subs. I'm sure there's going to be a few are going to get a run, you would imagine, to try and justify an opportunity of playing in Croke Park on All-Ireland final day. Probably the first puck out Wicklow have won in this start of the second half. Ball is knocked away. The Laois offensive, defensive play has been fantastic, if you know what I mean. Just the forwards have been really, really impressive and putting pressure on Wicklow. And have to say, Leanne Lively just struggling to find one of her own. And when she does, they're under so much pressure as silent cut comes from Grania Delaney. Decent enough ball, popping in front of Kirsten Keenan. Knocks the ball back now. Laois looking to build strong, but Wicklow looking to get out here with Casey Kelly. I'm sure the Wicklow players feeling the hurt now, seeing that scoreboard. 25 points to 3 is trying to get on this ball. Linda Keys going to have a strike. It's in front of Lively. She's left it behind her, but there's no one there to profit, and she's able to find the far touching. Probably should have went for a player closer to her, but she's trying to hunt out now Elizabeth Burke. Elizabeth, a very strong runner for Wicklow. If she gets up and running, puts the ball inside, and she's gone inside 2 Laois players now with 3 around her. Got it fine to do something with it. The referee said there was a foul committed there, and he is given a free to Laois. I think that ball might have been caught too many times. And a chance for Laois to clear, and that's, as he said, they didn't make the 45 metre line there. That's as the best chance Wicklow have had in this opening 11 minutes, looking to make the change. I think we're going to have a double change for Laois here. Don't forget, I said senior semi-finals from UPMC Nolan Park next Saturday afternoon from, I think it's 3 o'clock if memory serves me rightly. Cork and Waterford and Tip and Galway. Number 27 for Laois is coming in, and that's Leiden, C. Fennell, and number 15 Amy Daly is coming on as well. So Susie Delaney called ashore there. Leiden C. Fennell and Amy Daly are on the field of play. We've a bit of a hold up here. Free comes over on the far side. Waiting for this ball then to be delivered by Claudia Tynan. Batted down by Wicklow defence there. Impressive Laois performance. Grania Delaney flighting the ball across to the sub that's come in Amy Daly. Amy came on there for Susie. Amy was listed to start, so that's why she's wearing number 15. She was replaced by Emer Hassett. Wicklow going to make a change at 2, it looks like. This an impressive Laois performance, putting down a bit of a marker. As you said, there was only 7 points between them in the first round of the group stages. But Laois seem to have managed this group stages very well, and Grania Delaney getting in. That ball is batted down. Lively is, have to say, credit to her. Her goal is, she's conceded 4. I wouldn't blame her for 3 of them. And she's dealt with a few batted and short ones coming in there fairly well. As Wicklow try to get it out here with Faye Corrigan. You'd like to see Wicklow get a couple of scores anyway, just take some of the duck egg of the second half off the board. As I said, they haven't scored since the 14th minute of the game. And at that stage, as he said, they were very much in the game, although you felt at least were keeping them at arm's length. But It just very quickly got out of hand. Change then to happen. And it looks like number 18 for Wicklow is coming in, and that's Niamh McCormack from Bray Emmets. And is it Hannah Doyle? So it's Hannah Doyle of Anna Curra that's come off there. So Bray Emmets for Anna Curra at a quarter of an hour to go here. Tynan, as she normally does, patrols that 45-metre line very, very well, trying to get it forward there towards Kaylee O'Keefe, but ball is broken down by Wicklow. Wicklow still have to cross that 45-metre line. Looking with Shannon Gotland now. She might be a player that might be able to do it, and there's that ball in, but Laois repel it out. So Laois dealing with anything that Wicklow have thrown at them now and trying to keep it on the end of the hurl and keep the hurl away from her as well is the Laois full-back in Ellen Conroy. But Ellen Conroy, to me, looked like she brought that ball out, but linesman has said that he must have seen something closer to the action than me. Sideline ball for Laois. And there's some of the breaks that are just small things that haven't gone Wicklow's way. That sometimes happen. The inexperienced, maybe, team that sometimes always seem to break for the more experienced unit, let's say. As he said, that ball now has gone beyond the arc. So they've got that far now, Wicklow, in this second half. Laois looking to make another double substitution over there on that far side. They look like they have with the ball with Corrigan. Corrigan looking to play the ball in towards Gotland, overcooked it a little bit, and it looks like Keys is going to get there, or maybe it's Tynan. But a combination of the two of them anyway, get the ball out, and then it comes back in the direction of Gotland. Skips the Hurley there and drives on away from Kirsten Keenan and others. Still going is Gotland, has a strike. She's well able to do this. Have they got a point? No, and it's their first meaningful attack of the second half. You just feel in Wicklow's situation they need everything to go for them. Number 5 for Laois now coming in, and that is Shona Jones. And number 9, Lucy Conroy. So those that were listed to start are now all on the field of play. Linda Keys has done her bit. She's coming off. And it looks like it's change for change. Sarah Cray being called ashore as well. So Shona Jones for Sarah Cray and Lucy Conroy for Linda Keys. That was the change at the start. So some of these players now with a chance to put their hand up. Oh, what a bit of skill to get her ball in hand. Emer Hassett, hats off to her. Lovely bit of play, hopping that ball up, and a lovely bit of football with that, getting it into Kirsten Keenan. Kirsten trying to hold off the attack as she put the ball over the bar. She has, but credit Emer Hassett with the lovely bit of skill. Got it inside to Amy Collier, and when her channel was cut off, she got it to Keenan. And I think for Kirsten Keenan's all her effort in this second half, she deserving of a score there. But the bit of play, if anyone's listening back with intro, we might cut that up just to see that little bit of skill, if we could, from Emer Hassett again to play that ball inside. Ball was just getting away, and she got enough of a little bounce on it to ping it with her hurley back up into her hand. And Laois well in control here now. Now I suppose all the Pat Collier and Robert Jones might be concerned about would be picking up injuries, and they do have a stoppage in play down here. I think Kirsten, in trying to get in there, used her strength very well to hold off the Wicklow defender and got the strike off, but I think might have just pinched that left shoulder a little bit. Wicklow looking to make changes here now as well. 20 is coming in for 13. And 17 for 15. After 49 minutes then. So Daisy Summer Cullen done, as we know. We've come across Daisy before, she's on the field of play, and Ciara Lancaster are also on the field of play. And they are in for Ciara Connolly and Aisling O'Toole. So coming into 10 minutes remaining, and we've another stoppage. So, just to remind you, it is the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Premier Junior Camogie Championship semi-finals. The second game on the way at 3 o'clock between Armagh and Roscommon. It'll be on the same link, so if you are watching the Camogie, do stick around with us. But Laois will be in the final on the 10th of August. That game will throw in at 1 o'clock. The intermediate, of course, between Kerry and Offaly follows at 3. And then the senior final. Who will that be between at 5:15? Will it be Cork, Waterford or Galway Tipperary? We'll wait and see. As we said, that play out in UPMC Nolan Park next Saturday afternoon. That will be live on television. But for the 10th of August, it would be, as we said, advisable to get your tickets at camogie.ie. It looks like Grania Delaney has that leg injury. Now, if you remember early doors there, she got a knock on the ankle, across the left ankle. I don't know if it's a continuation of that, but it looks like her day might be done. And no harm in that. She's definitely just taking her time coming off there. So number 18 is coming in for Laois. That's Yvonne Steins. Hopefully it's not too serious for Grania there. That would be the concern for Pat, and Robert Jones has said that a couple of injuries just in the last couple of minutes to a couple of key players as that ball comes off of Yvonne Steins there, and the Banreen Girls player, a judge have fouled. And here's a chance for Wicklow now to attack the Laois goal with Laois a little bit at 6s and 7s, but Wicklow taking their time over this, and it's left to Sarah Doyle. As he said, they've only got to the top of the D in this second half. That's how good the offensive defensive play has been from Laois. 8 minutes of normal time remaining. That ball is sent on its way by Sarah Doyle in on the 13-metre line. The ball hops. Laois now will probably be trying to remain scoreless in this second half. That'd be a target, but the ball is broken. Shot going in. Had to be saved there. Had a whole lot to do in this game, Aideen Lowry. But the shot there from Birmingham, and a good save by Aideen Lowry. And she, as we said, sign of a good goalkeeper. Not a whole lot to do until the closing stages, and you're still able to react. Good save. It had to be a good save because it was a fine strike from Birmingham. Wicklow getting ready to bring in another substitution here. It looks like they're number 19. And that's Sean O'Ryan from Bray Emmett's about to come in with 53, and Shanna Gotland is called ashore. Laois, I think, just dealt with Shanna today. She is a very strong player from a Wicklow point of view. In some of her campaigns in winning the Nancy Murray, she a standout performer, and with her club knocking on it. But I think Laois just had the better of her today. What a take over there. And it's an opportunity. Amy Daly is it to split the post. That is a fine score. What another bit of skill. I hope we'll be able to ping some of these if we can. The take on the run as she ran away with her left hand, coming in on her left hand side to take that and then come back out and put the ball over the bar. Lovely score there. A couple of the last few scores for Laois have been top drawer. Some bits of skill that have been used as the ball breaks around the middle again, trying to get it on there. Sophie Birmingham. Wicklow still on 3 points. They've been at that now for 40 minutes. That's where really Laois have taken control. Laois have scored 3-10 since that mark. So really hard on Wicklow as Casey Kelly deals with this ball now, putting the ball down along the wing. Go Wicklow. looking to get in over the top, but Wicklow repelled that, but it's taken well and nicked away by Aoife Nick Donica. When she gets a chance, she can cause problems. There's a player inside her, she's still going, but the Laois defence are there, and again there's only been one opportunity for Wicklow inside the 13 metre line in this second half. Laois have done very well to repel that, but the ball breaks now. Could their sub get onto it? But Laois are there in numbers. Simple ball out. Probably needed to be simpler than that, and it looks like Wicklow are going to bring it back in with Sarah Doyle on the deck now, trying to give it to Sophie Birmingham. Birmingham, here's a shout inside, and it's from her centre back in Emer O'Toole. O'Toole dropping this ball in. Ball is knocked out with a hand there of the Laois full back Ellen Conroy. It's on the ground, but it's the Laois defence that are dealing quite well with it, looking to come out with it now, and it's a good hold off there, and the ball is batted over here onto this side of the field, where it's going to be taken on by Stein. Stein's looking to step inside her player. Looked like she had her hand held there. Then she tried to get the bat away, but the ball is blocked down by Sophie Birmingham, and it's going to be a Laois sideline ball. 4 and a bit minutes remaining. I'd imagine there is going to be injury time. Don't know whether Francis Caldwell needs to play it. As that ball is played inside, and Laois's number 27, of course, Leiden C. Fennell, that came on. Leiden has, I believe, been carrying injury, so good to see her back and maybe in contention for the All-Ireland final, which of course takes place on the 10th of August. Tickets at camogie.ie, and you'd imagine there should be a big crowd, as he said, definitely from the Midlands, with Laois and Offaly now going to be there on the All-Ireland final day. Laois looking to come out with this ball now. Ball is dropped, and Wicklow now maybe have an opportunity, but there is that Scully again, looking to get that ball away, turning Leiden into a little bit of trouble. Eventually gets that ball away, has to go into battle again there with Birmingham. Ball hits the deck, and it's Laois that pick it up and are able to drive out with it, with their number 9 Lucy Conroy giving that ball off. Chance now maybe at the other end, but the pass is left behind there. Wicklow looking to get forward. Looked like an illegal hold up there by Amy Daly, and it's going to be a free out for Wicklow's number 2 Faye Corrigan. Of course, she was fouled, and referee, is he calling the ball back? I think that's I'm not sure. Someone will explain to me maybe the issue there. I thought the player that was fouled, the ball in hand, she was able to take that quick free, but it must have been something about closeness of players or something like that. But anyway, throw ball by Francis Caldwell, and the ball breaks in Laois's favour. Keenan getting the ball inside now. Amy Collier getting the shout from Amy Daly. Daly though just popped up off her chest a little bit, and it hits the deck, and she throws the eyes up to heaven. Chance kind of big in there. She probably saw an opportunity to get in for goal. (2-5) from Amy Collier in this game. 1-3 from Emer Hassett. 1-2 from Susie Delaney. That's the full forward line, and that, you know, is a significant factor. Kaylee O'Keefe, Kirsten Keenan, Grania Delaney, all have points as well. But it's inside line. If they're scoring the majority, well, you're more than likely going to be heading to win most matches, as that ball is played down along the wing now. But again, Laois reading the situation there as Fiona Scully came across. Here's Wicklow though on the attack, have the opportunity here. Daisy getting this ball inside. Ball is in the hand now of the main player. Shot blocked off there by Aideen Lowry again. Ball is on play with a couple of Wicklow players around. There's a Wicklow player gone down, and maybe Siveburn just take the duck egg, could have put that ball over the bar, but she probably at this stage now, they know they need to get goals. There's a hold up in the play as Wicklow player is down injured. As I said, it has been a bit stop-start in this last quarter. It's Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Premier Junior Championship semi-finals. Laois against Wicklow, and as many people expected Laois win in this game, may not have expected the size of the win. And I think Wicklow, ultimately, it was bonus to be here, because the first ever Premier Junior semi-final. So they achieved a goal of getting here, but I suppose they will be disappointed that the season has come to an end the way it has. But lots of good things happening in Wicklow camp and Wicklow Camogie in general. 4 minutes of additional time to be played. I'd say now you could shorten all that down, but Francis Caldwell sticking to the regulation as Wicklow come hunting. Free being given. And are they going to get the duck egg off the board here? Chance for a free. Going to come up to this now, Sophie Birmingham. Laois manning the line in case she thinks about going for goal. But I might just tap this over the bar, and we said take that look off the board for the second half as we head into injury time in about 8 seconds. So man in the goal, heading, and she does go low, fires that ball, but it's blocked in there by the defence. And Laois look like they're going to deal with it. But there are Wicklow players in their numbers looking to snaffle something out of this. But Aideen Lowry has done very well in this second half. Stopped 2 shots. The first one definitely the most fierce of them all. But it's out here. And that ball has gone into the right and wide. It's Wicklow's first shot. And that is down as a wide. So, serious performances by Laois here today. Sarah Cray, Fiona Scully, Aideen Lowry on occasion when she had to be called, but she didn't have said of a whole lot to do. The inside forward line, all those are going to be in the running for player of the match. Ball breaks. Laois are thinking of keeping that duck egg on the board. Wicklow coming hunting again. Sarah Doyle knocking this ball in. 2 Laois players there in around the Wicklow player. Ball trying to be taken away. We are 2.5 minutes or thereabouts left of injury time to play, but it's Wicklow that do get away. Another free being given to them, and referee calling it back. It's on the top of the D. Looks like number 22 is going to come in for Wicklow. That would be Isabel Doyle from Annacurra. And she is going in here, and that's, I think, all of Wicklow's subs run, and she's going in for number 20. Daisy Summer Cullen Dunn. I don't know if Daisy picked up an injury there. Yeah, she is feeling her left shoulder here, so they've made that decision. Fortunate for Daisy, only on about 10 minutes. So to go for the goal again. I think Wicklow have had a couple of opportunities where I'm not sure the goals were on, that they should have put the ball over the bar. Maybe, I'm not saying it's going to add a whole lot, but it would definitely take the look of the second half board off it. They weren't going to get the goals from the positions that they were in. No, don't tell me otherwise. Now, Emer Hassett, a big second half she's had. And a goal and 3 points, as we said. Susie Delaney with a goal and 2 points, got the opening goal and the opening score of the game. But Amy Collier, I think, is the standout when you're coming to an All-Ireland semi-final and you're scoring 2-5. As Emer Hassett drops that in, but it's Leanne Lively. I have to credit Leanne. Leanne has kept going all day, tried her best, and when you're conceding 4 goals, but she blocked a couple of more and dealt with any ball that was in there. Sive Byrne probably as well on occasion. As Wicklow look to clear this ball, 50 seconds remaining. Is Hassett going to have the final say? No, the ball is dropping in back into Lively's hand again. Laois, I don't think, apart from one wide in the second half from my notes. Faye Corrigan then knocking this ball down along the wing, and Wicklow trying to find something in the second half. Clodagh Tynan, the captain of Laois, knocking this ball down, and as he said, it's had a challenge game feel about it for a long time. When you have a 3-9 to 3-point lead at half time, Laois haven't had to overextend themselves, and maybe Pat Collier, Rob Jones, that's maybe something that they're going to be looking at, that they only scored 1-6 in the second half, but they did make changes, and opportunity maybe for Laois to finish with a flourish now, because we are done. This would be the last chance, I would imagine, with Francis Caldwell going around the house a little bit to get a strike. Cayley has put that ball to the right and wide, and I would imagine Francis Caldwell looking at his watches, he lets the puck out happen, and now he's called it. 4:15 the 3 points. Laois will be in the All-Ireland final. I think it was expected, but maybe not the manner of that defeat. And it just, you have to say a great credit to Laois. Professional enough job done, and they are into the final on the 10th of August. Now Ian Cooney is back with me. And Ian, you know, the scenario here, like Laois were professional in what they had to do. Didn't have to overextend themselves in the second half. And that might be something maybe Pat and Robert might be reinforcing over the next couple of weeks, that they only scored 1-6 in that second half.
Yeah, but what impressed me about them, Killian, was that the amount of blocking, harrying, hooking. Like, they never gave Wicklow a moment's peace. You know, in fairness to Wicklow, they tried very hard, especially in the last 5-10 minutes. Obviously, the game was over at that stage, but there was always a Laois attacker there. They're very proud to, I suppose, keep Laois scoreless in that second half. And that's the thing that will please Pat Collier the most, is that they never relented, really. I know they obviously the scores dried up, but when you have a team that, I suppose, maintains that intensity, and you know, I don't care what team it is, but you keep them scoreless in a second half, it tells you something about, you know, how this Laois team pride themselves on their defensive effort. They've scored 4-15 today, but I think what will please them even more is that they only conceded 3 points.
Yeah, and the last point that they conceded was in the 14th minute. You know, I just was very impressed by their forward unit while they hit scores. Their defensive duty in that second half to really, they seemed to make a decision. We're not letting Wicklow get any hope or anything like that, or maybe even keep them scoreless in that second half. It seemed to be a team kind of decision there, didn't it? Yeah, and the thing that struck me was that I don't think Wicklow had a shot on goal until the 17th minute of that second half. So that tells you everything you need to know about where the Laois heads were at, in terms of, you know, this is our defence and we're not going to let it be breached today. I mean, Wicklow's last score came in the 13th or the 15th minute of the game, so for 2/4 of that game the Laois defence, you know, kept Wicklow scoreless. So that's a pretty impressive stat, and I suppose, regardless of what happens now in the second game, you'd have to say that Laois team is going to take some stopping in an All-Ireland final. Well, 4-15, and when you look at, obviously, the majority of scores, apart from, I think by my notes, 4 points came from your inside forward line. Like, whoever it is, Armagh, Roscommon, they're going to have some job stopping that inside line, aren't they? Absolutely, and I thought, in the second half, I know, Amy Collier just keeps picking off the points, but there was one point there in the second half from Emer Hassett where, she won back possession. There was from about 2 or 3 Wicklow defenders, and she scored a point, and that summed up to me what this Laois team are all about. That sort of work rate, blocking, harrying, and we know they can score. Like 4-15 today is a tremendous score. They've been scoring freely in all their games, and it's another game, another box ticked off for Pat Collier. And as I said, that team is going to take some stopping in the final. Absolutely, that's the voice there of Ian Collier giving us, or Ian Cooney, I should say, giving us his viewpoint on Laois qualifying rather easy here. 4-15 to 3 points. It will be an all Midlands Day mark in Croke Park on the 10th of August, because Laois are joining Offaly. Full time score here, 4-15 to 3 points. So as you can see on camera there, Brian Malloy, Uachtaráin of the Camogie Association, making the presentation to Amy. Amy, I'm going to get you to come over here to me just very quickly as we stay on camera. Congratulations, Amy, your player of the match. Well done, back in Croke Park.
Yeah, look, it's great. It's great to be back, and that was our aim at the start of the year. So just delighted we got the performance and going back again.
Look, when you look at the scoreboard, it's harsh on Wicklow in lots of ways, but you were very businesslike here.
Oh yeah, well look, I have to give it to Wicklow, the physicality they shown today. We knew it wasn't going to be easy. They're a seriously physical team, and they never died till the end. And you just have to give it to Wicklow, no matter what that scoreboard shows. Like it's not what we played on the field anyway.
Now, back to Croke Park, and there is obviously still a little bit of hurt to last year. You know, do you feel you have wrongs to right now? I know there's still Armagh and Roscommon to deal with, but do you feel that's maybe what this team is about now?
100%. That's a huge driving force since the minute we came back in this year. We have to undo that one score again, and I just hope to God that we can do that this year. I'm
sure Pat and Robert will be quite happy. Other players got to have a bit of a run out there. It's going to be an interesting few weeks now, I'd imagine, in training.
Oh, definitely. Look, training's been is going very well. Everyone's pushing, and you don't have your jersey, so you have to go as hard as you can. And look, that's the best for us. That's what's making us do what we do out in field, is everyone driving forward. So. And
I'm sure now you'll be appealing to Laois fans, and obviously Offaly are going to be there as well. Come out and support both.
Yeah, look, it's great. Like, you have to have the crowd when you go to Croke Park. That's what it's all about. That feeling when you run out onto the field, it's absolutely amazing to hear the roar for you and for your county. It's amazing. So I just hope the Laois fans can get out and support us once again.
Well, congratulations, Amy, you're our player of the match. I'll give you the shaking hand again. Well done, and we'll see you in Croke Park in a couple of weeks' time. So don't forget, those finals take place on the 10th of August, and they will take place, of course, in Croke Park. Tickets at camogie.ie. Now we're getting ready for the next game that comes between Armagh and Roscommon, but as soon as I hear from Pat Collier, Robert Jones, we'll get a reaction from them as well. Stick with us here, and we will, as he said, hear from either one of those gentlemen in the next couple of minutes. Back here, pitch side, Pat Collier, you have to be a happy man with that.
Yeah, look, I'm thrilled really. Last year, as you know, we got to 3 finals. We lost them all by a point, and to get to Croke Park last year was fantastic for Laois Camogie after a few troublesome years. And after the match, I remember last year I was outside being interviewed, and when I came in, there was a few girls speaking in the dressing room. I didn't speak, but I stood outside in the corridor, and what I heard was, really encouraging that they were going to knuckle down this year and have a go and try and get back to Croke Park again. So we're just thrilled to be back to Croke Park. It's brilliant.
You've managed the group stages very well, I would think, Pat, if you don't mind me saying, and even today you managed that very well. Very business-like, professional performance.
Yeah, look, we had a good few injuries there over the last couple of months. A few girls could have been back a bit quicker, and we actually gave them another fortnight. A couple of them actually started today. But look, we have a good group. We have 27 really dedicated girls, some very young girls, and it takes everybody, as you know, and we rotate them fairly well. And today was probably the first time we probably got 12 or 13 of our first 15 on the field, and it's brilliant. And I love the way we defended today. We showed a little bit more cohesion and quicker ball to our forward line. Our forward line for me is dangerous, but if you don't get the supply, you can't do any damage. And today I thought they were very good.
3 weeks now, Pat. I said to Amy, it's going to be interesting training, I would imagine, and that's what you and Robert will be looking for, I'm sure.
Yeah, look, Rob's, he's my other half, as I say. He's a great man, and I know him. He's like me. He spoke to him there, and he just said, girls, we have 17, 18 days now that there will be no excuses accepted from any player in this group. Let it be funeral, wedding, your training. We leave no stone unturned, and we'll give this final a lash, irrelevant of whether it's Armagh or Roscommon. I think this game will be a lot closer than people think.
So, but Laois have done it. They're back there. And Pat, do you think now, when you look at maybe what's going on with Laois ladies Gaelic games, the footballers obviously in a final, now the Camogues in a final, you'd be hoping the county get behind both sets and come and support them.
Yeah, well, look, we met last night, me and Rob and the management, and one thing we actually spoke about was our lady footballers who were in the All-Ireland final, the 3rd. And we obviously, thank God now we're there the 10th, but we said that date, we marked it down as free. We would normally try and have a Sunday morning. Okay. But the panel of players also, it's hugely important we go and support our lady football. We know a lot of these girls very well, they're Camogie players too. And I just hope the people of Laois, I'll maybe get up a bit off their backsides now and get up early on that Sunday morning, the 3rd, and go and support the footballers, And then, please God, they might, with the help of God, get a win, and they'll come and support us the following week. We need the support.
It's going to be a big Midlands day, of course, with Offaly in the intermediate, so you'd be hoping neighbours might jump in as well. Huh?
Yeah, well, I know the Offaly manager well. Yeah, a couple of times this year we meant playing each other, and it just didn't work out. And I remember speaking to him early in the year, and I'd know me Camogie, and I said to him, you'll be in the All-Ireland, you in Antrim. And look, to me it was a fantastic game last week I was at, and two fantastic teams, Antrim and Far. But I'm delighted to see Offaly there. They're our neighbours, and I'll be shouting for them as well. I hope to God they can do it. Please God, in the day we might get a Laois Offaly double.
Right before the next game, Pat, are you going to worry about who it might be?
No, look, we played Armagh 2 weeks ago, I think it was, and in the first 10 minutes there was a player sent off, and it really changed the game. At the time it was nip and tuck, it gave us a slight advantage. But what was maybe a little bit frustrating for me, from the time Armagh had 14 till the end of the game, they outscored us 15 points to 2-3. That's a problem. Okay. And that's a problem we're going to have to work on. I think this game will be tight. Roscommon are a good team.
Well, Pat, you were in the All-Ireland final. Well done, and congratulations to you. And we'll see you then on that day, the 10th of August. Pat Collier there giving us his views on the game here. As you can see, just beside us, Armagh coming out, and they're getting ready. They want to be back in Croke Park, and they want to be claiming a Premier Junior title. It's something that they cherish in being able to take a title back home to the Orchard County. So we will be on the air in about 15 minutes. Sit back and enjoy some of the highlights of that game between Laois and Wicklow. And then we'll be looking forward to Armagh and Roscommon. And a very good afternoon to you, and welcome back here to Kingspan Breffni Park. It's all hilarity here because I'm joined by Mary McBride, of course, and Ian Cooney to look ahead to this semi-final. Very quickly, though, it is the Glen Dimplex Premier Junior semi-final for the right to play Laois on the 10th of August. I'm going to start just because in alphabetical order with Armagh. Mary, as the liaison officer here today, your girls are back in contention, third year in a row, needing to make that step, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, we played up in Division 2 this year, and you know, it's a step up. It's where we want to be. We've been in Croke Park 4 years ago. We've been in the last two semi-finals, and we're eager to get over the line today to make another trip to Croke Park. You know,
Would that, is that something that maybe for the Camogues and everything within your county would be a huge step, like getting there and contesting that All-Ireland final again?
Absolutely. It'd be great for Armagh Camogie. You know, Armagh Camogie is flourishing at the moment. We have 17 clubs and 2 new clubs on board now. So it's flourishing at the moment, and it's just really to raise the profile of the game in Armagh. We have such a talented bunch of girls here out going to play in front of us today, and, just want to do it for our county.
Yeah, well, thanks, Mary, indeed, and the best of luck to Armagh. Ian, for Roscommon, again, maybe went through a bit of a lull trying to get back again to maybe at a stage where, they're representing their county and maybe representing their county in the All-Ireland final.
Yeah, it's a big game for Roscommon, obviously. There was a fair gap between the teams when they met in Lisnamult. I think there was 11 points between the teams. But Roscommon would like to think that they've improved a small bit from that. And Mary Grehan is over the team this year. Very proud Roscommon woman, and she will get every last ounce of energy out of this team. And I suppose from a Roscommon perspective, the challenge is, can they bridge that gap? I mean, they've played Armagh and Laois a couple of times this year, and there's been a significant difference between the teams. So, that is the challenge. Can Roscommon, get to the level that I suppose that Armagh and Laois, who have been the two standout teams in the championship, can they get to that level and put a performance in today?
But that's probably Roscommon are the nearest team though to the next to Laois and Armagh, so they're probably the ones, if there was to be a flying day, they could be the ones that could cause an upset.
Well, I'm sure Mary Grehan and her management team are hoping that. I think she has always highlighted that, when they've played the likes of Laois and Armagh this year, the difference has been the first touch of those top teams. And Roscommon are a very young team and an inexperienced team, and they have to try and get to that level to be physical, to have that first touch spot on. And if they can do that today, I think they'll give Armagh a game.
Right. That's Ian Cooney, Mary McBride. Thanks for joining me this afternoon, and the best luck to both Armagh and Roscommon. I'm heading back up the commentary position. We'll bring you the teams, no changes, so we're expecting a good cracker here between Roscommon and Armagh. And welcome back to Kingspan Breffni here in Cavantown for the Glen Dimplex Premier Junior All-Ireland Camogie Championship semi-final for the right to play Laois in that final in Croke Park on Sunday the 10th of August. The teams are Armagh and Roscommon, and both line out as selected with Kiri Devlin of Grainmore in goal for Armagh. It's Maeve O'Hare, Gemma McCann and Lucy Loughran, the full back line. Michelle McCone, Alana McEntee and Emer Hayes are the half backs. At centre field it's Grace Gaffney and Ciara Hill, the captain. Emer McGeary, Katie Convey and Niamh Forker are the half forwards, and the full forward line made up of Karina Doyle, Sinead Quinn and Rachel Murray. Roscommon also on change from the programme. It's Michaela Fallon of Oran in goal, Michelle Rogers, Mairead Lohan and Aideen O'Brien, the full back line. Hannah Murray, Nick Dermida and Sinead Mannion, the half back. Centre field, Sally Bulger and Lily Murray. It's Celine Gackwin, Sarah Dooley and Tara Nocton, the half forwards, and it's Ciara Kilcommons, Rachel Fitzmaurice, the captain, and Una Kelly, the full forward line. Our match referee, Simon Redmond from Dublin, standby Enda Loughnane from Galway, the line Paul O'Neill from Antrim, who's over on this side as we look at it. The fourth official, Ronan Carr from Dublin, and Nadine Murphy also from Dublin is the fifth official. It's Armagh that will attack the country end. It's the town end for Roscommon. Straight away Sarah Dooley trying to get in there, but the referee said foul committed, and it was Armagh just at a little bit at sixes and sevens. Bit of hot potato for Roscommon. They just couldn't get clean possession, and that was an opportunity. Don't forget, after 48 seconds, Laois got a goal at the start against Wicklow, ultimately gave them a platform to build on, and it ended up 1-5 to 3 points. A break in play there as number 2 Maeve O'Hare from Ballymacnab is tended to. Better say hello to a very special young lady, Lila Clark from St Malachy's in Armagh, 13 years of age, has just finished treatment for cancer, and she's here with us today. I know some of her family are watching and listening, so we pay fair play to Lila after coming through a really tough time as Armagh tried to get down and be strong here against this Roscommon defence, but Simon Redmond has called a halt. He's going to call it back, even though that ball went over the bar. The whistle had gone just before that strike went in. Don't forget, Laois very, very impressive in their performance in the first game. You know, Wicklow, it probably told that it was their first Premier Junior semi-final in their history. Laois meant business, 4-15 to 3 points. So you're watching the action here on the Camogie Association YouTube channel. We have 3 teams in Croke Park on the 10th of August already. 2 are from the Midlands, Laois and Offaly, and Kerry are there as well. Will it be Armagh? Will it be Roscommon? Let's see how things progress then. Just off the D. And that strike for Armagh goes over the bar as they attack the scoreboard end here then. As I mentioned to you, that point from who else but Rachel Murray. So 2 minutes gone. So 2 minutes gone as that ball breaks. Mary Grehan, of course, legend in Roscommon. The Grehan family, of course, big in Roscommon GA, urging this team on, and a foul committed there on Lily Murray, and it's going to be a chance for their number 12, Tara Nocton from Athleague. Roscommon, of course, got to the very Division 3 final, lost out to Laois. Armagh were relegated from Division 2A, playing against stronger teams, obviously. As that ball goes in, left behind Kerry Devlin, right on the line, but the umpire said that that ball had gone over the bar, over the line, and Kerry Devlin, just maybe the flight of it or whatever, there's no sun really, there is a brightness in the sky, but just fell down between her feet and crossed the line. She did get a scoop away on it, but that is a fortuitous effort, but Tara Nocton won't care. It's a perfect start for Roscommon after 3 minutes of action here, and we saw what an early goal did to the previous game. Roscommon now here to make up the numbers. Armagh looking to get back to Croke Park. Ball out over the line, says Paul O'Neill, the Antrim official. Paul, a busy man the last week, was in Seadrill St Conleth's Park last week for the intermediate semi-finals here today in Kingspan Breffni. We're in Cavantown, the fabulous venue here in Cavantown, as Armagh tried to build with Katie Convey, giving it over to Rachel Murray. Rachel is the danger woman, of course, for this Armagh team, flighting that ball in, batted away. It had to be batted away strongly by Michaela Fallon. Of course, the Fallon name, big name within Camogie circles in Roscommon. And a number of the Fallons have, of course, been on the Roscommon team. As this ball worked out into the hand of Sinead Quinn, a danger player. A lot more expected of Sinead. Sinead has been around now a couple of years, was a young player bursting onto the scene, had a fantastic performance, if I remember rightly, in an All-Ireland semi-final a couple of years ago, and put her name out there. But now she's probably one of the elder players. Armagh have obviously lost a few players, and changes have happened with players retiring and everything like that. Of course, no Donnelly's on this starting 15. As that ball went in there from Rachel Murray and out to the right and wide with 5 minutes of play gone. So puck out comes from Fallon, drops and picked up by Convey. Giving it over here now to our number 10, Emer McGeary. McGeary from Madden, still going, bearing down and goal, have the strike. Fallon bats it away. It's still there. Emer McGeary followed it up. And could we have a bit of a goal fest here? Ball is in the back of the net. Into the 5th minute. Wow. Goal for Armagh, following in on her own strike. Maybe Fallon could have got a better bat away on that, but the strike fell back into the hands of Emer McGeary, and you'd have to credit her for not giving up on the original shot and following it in. Ball has gone over the line on the far side, says Enda Loughnane. Number of Galway officials here today. There was 2 involved with the other semi-final, 1 here, and there's 3 Dublin officials involved with this. Simon Redmond, a very experienced, of course, camogie referee. As that ball breaks in for Roscommon, but again, Kiri Devlin leaving that ball drop, but the referee says it's a penalty. I think he saw the hold inside. What a game this is starting to be. And he said, yeah, there was a pull there. As that ball dropped in on the edge of the square, look and see the replay. It was a long flighted ball in and a bit of a tussle going on. And I think the Roscommon player was trying to say to the referee, yeah, I'm being held here. She had her 2 arms out. But, wow, this is some start. A bit of a difference to what we saw in the first semi-final. And maybe this game isn't as predictable as people thought. Tara Naughton in, got the first goal up against Kiri Devlin. Going to have a strike off at this guy. It's it high. Off the crossbar it comes. Roscommon in there, but Devlin makes up, I suppose, for that first effort. Gets up all the way, but the shot coming in from Roscommon's 13, Kira Kilcommons. She puts it to the right and wide. The Armagh crowd happy with their defensive display there to be able to block that away. So penalty given, but save from Kiri Devlin, and then she got it away. So this game really is proving that, well, you can't read a whole lot into the group stages. 3-14 to 1-9. Armagh won that game on the first day out. In fact, as it turned out, the group stages, the first day out for the 4 teams were in the semi-final. They each played each other. And here they are now gone, with 7 minutes gone at Kingspan Breffni, as Armagh come hunting again. As he said, will we have a goal fest? Ball is back in the hands here of Niamh Forker. She's pulled that though to the left and wide. Lots of pressure, lots of tension, it would seem, out there. And as he said, after about 15 minutes, Laois had started off well, got a goal, and they built on that. It was 1-5 to 3 points, but then just that was the last score Wicklow got after 14 minutes. As again, Simon Redmond, the one thing he seems to be spotting is pulls off the ball, and he's calling a free in there. And it's going to be a free for Armagh. Sun now coming out here at Kingspan Breffni. Hopefully the rain holds off. There are ominous enough clouds over to our left hand side. But here at Kingspan Breffni, Armagh and Cavan, I suppose in the betwixt and between, didn't have too far to travel. Knowing from a good few weeks ago, of course, that this semi-final double-header, his ball is dropped in again. Fallon gets a better strike away. And the goal mouths are busy. When you look at Aideen Lowry, he didn't have a whole lot to do in the first semi-final as that ball is dropped in by Armagh's number 13. And that ball has gone out to the left and wide by Karina Doyle. But is he calling back? Yeah. So whistle went there after that ball was waved wide, and it's been marked here by Paul O'Neill. Free going to be taken by Rachel Murray. Rachel has a free after 2 minutes and a wide. This, of course, is the Glen Dimplex Premier Junior All-Ireland Camogie Championship semi-final. Murray trying to bring Armagh back to Croke Park, puts that ball over the bar, and she will be the leading lady, and it makes it 1-2 to a goal, and that's after 9 minutes of action here. Penalty save as well from Kiri Devlin. This ball breaks off of wing back there, Michelle McCone from Ballymacnab. Again, just giving a shout out to Lila Clark from St. Malachy's. Has been through a tough time lately. 13 years of age, has finished up treatment for cancer, and hopefully for Lila, health and happiness ahead. She's here with us today, but I believe family and friends tuned into us watching the action here. So welcome to Kingspan Breffni as the ball went out over the line. It's judged to be a Roscommon ball. Manager PJ O'Mullen for Armagh. You'll recognise him, of course, having brought Derry all the way to success. Intermediate Championship as Armagh come out. Ball breaks, and trying to drive on here now is Sarah Dooley, but she's robbed of that, and a chance for centre-back Alana McEntee to come out from Crossmaglen. Advantage being played. Ball is going to be picked up by a Roscommon player and going to be called back. Looks like Ciara Hill, the captain, is complaining, and referee having a chat with Sally Bulger. Sally fairly robust there in that scenario, and referee Simon Redmond just having a word with her, just checking on Ciara Hill, the captain for Armagh. Gives us a chance to take a breather, because what a swashbuckling opening 10 minutes. The opening score came from Rachel Murray free, and then we saw Roscommon with a goal. Tara Nocton lobbing in a long ball. Kiri Devlin let it fall from her grasp. It hit one of her boots and over the line, even though she looked like, I thought she got a clearance, but the umpire was right there and he awarded the goal. Subsequently though, Armagh in essentially the next attack, Emer McGeary followed up after an shot was saved by Michaela Fallon. She knocked the ball to the back of the net, but then Roscommon got through and got a penalty, but it was saved as here come Armagh again, trying to hunt out an opportunity. Their full forward Sinead Quinn jinking and jiving as she turned it over the bar. She has, and that's a very mature score from Sinead Quinn, the Derry News player. Makes it 1-3 to a goal. And they have, I suppose, steadied the ship now, you would say, here after 12 minutes. So All-Ireland Premier Junior Camogie Championship semi-final brought to you by the Camogie Association and Glen Dimplex. So don't forget, tickets at camogie.ie if you want to be in Croke Park on the 10th of August. And hopefully people heed Brian Malloy, the Uachtaráin, and come out and support. The challenge has to be on to people within their counties to bring teams and young players and whatever to Croke Park on that day. As that ball hops inside, and well read and good control there by Maeve O'Hare. There's a long ball up along the wing where Grace Gaffney is onto this, the Middletown player, trying to find Mary now, who's jinking and jiving back onto her right, will favour the strike. It's a nice little sandwich up and over the bar from Rachel Murray. That's her first from play, it's her third overall. 12 and a half minutes gone, and she has 3 scores, and she brings Armagh onto 1-4 to a goal. So Roscommon now haven't really threatened since that penalty save, and that's now 6 minutes ago. So need to get their hands on this ball. Michaela Fallon then trying to drive that ball over to the far side. If memory serves me right, I think Michaela, is she a long puck winner? I think that's definitely a title that's rested in that Fallon family anyways. This ball is played in towards Quinn by Murray. Quinn holds off for immediate attacker and turns and puts that ball over the bar. No! Out to the right and wide. It looked like she was liking it, but that's gone to the right and wide. Sinead Quinn with that wide then here after 13 minutes of a play. So don't forget, Laois victorious and fairly comprehensive victory against Wicklow in the first semi-final. Ball is knocked out here. Laois, of course, in the group stage is winning against all teams, including the 2 that are out on the field of play here right now. As Armagh trying to get it forward there with Emer McGeary, the goal scorer. But it's Armagh that have lost it to Roscommon, but Roscommon then immediately give it away. Lady that's becoming very strong in the game, Maeve O'Hare, tried to get forward there, but it's Lily Murray trying to get forward. The referee said she was being fouled by Michelle McCone. and it's a ball knocked straight away in on top, and it's full forward trying to get inside. Rachel Fitzmaurice, she knows where the back of the net is. She's a very strong player, and their midfield partnership as well would be definitely 3 players that could play in levels above where they are at the minute. Referee said I think there was a drop of the hurley there, and it's going to be a free out for Armagh. So just outside the 20-metre line, tight to the sideline here at Kingspan Breffni on the stand side. That's where we are watching the action here in Cavan Town as that ball gets over the head of everybody and on to Karina Doyle. Doyle has been urged to get going on her bike, looking to get inside the Roscommon defence. She's been tracked there by Una Kelly, who's back playing as an extra player, 15 on her back, but back helping out the defence here at the minute. Armagh looking to get away from that sweeper at the minute, with the strike going to come in here from Karina Doyle. Out wide, but the referee is calling it back. He says there was a chop down there, and Simon Redmond is definitely on top of things at the minute. Anything he's seen illegally on a technical basis, he's picking them up, and Armagh probably playing to that strength at the minute. And as we said, Roscommon playing with a inside line of just the 2 with the wind behind them. I always question that, but they feel obviously defensively they need the numbers if they're going to stop Armagh. But if this game, if you feel Murray starts knocking these balls over, it could be hard to rein that back in, especially when you have the wind. And Murray has put her 4th free over the bar, and you just can't give her the opportunity to get into a groove, and she's in her groove now, and that groove has got to be stopped, you'd feel, if you're Mary Grehan and her backroom team. Mary stalking the line at the minute, looking for, I suppose, words of advice and support from her management team. As getting on this ball now is Hannah Murray from the St. Dominic's Club, giving it off now to Sarah Dooley from Porry Pierce's, cutting inside very, very well she has, scoops a lovely ball inside towards Fitzmaurice. Fitzmaurice trying to hold off Gemma McCann. Fitzmaurice on the ground, no freeze at the referee, and back there to help out Lucy Loughran, and she clears the ball. Not a great clearance, and looking to work hard for those. Alana McEntee playing the ball down along the wing. Armagh looking to build from the back, looking to get this clearance. Not a whole lot of pressure under number 7 there, Emer Hayes, and she's able to deliver it long diagonally over here and trying to get Karina Doyle. That seems to be a target ball. Every time the ball comes in her direction, Sean Mullen is urging her to get on her bike here, or PJ O'Mullen I should say, and it's going to be an opportunity here as that ball went out over the line. So it looks like Karina Doyle seems to be an out ball for the Armagh defence, and you can hear in the background there, maybe you could hear PJ urging Karina to keep showing. 1-5 goal then after 17 minutes of this Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Premier Junior Camogie Championship semi-final for the right to play Laois in the final on the 10th of August. Good sideline cut from Roscommon, but returned by Armagh, not a great ball. So Sally Bulger played it forward and Grace Gaffney played it back. 2 number 8s. Of course, it's a repeat of a quarter-final from last year. Armagh winning by 10 points in the end in, I think it was Dunamore Ashburn, 120 to 110. Of course, Armagh got to the semi-final against Tipperary, where they lost by a point. Tipperary subsequently went on and beat Laois by a point in Crow Park. As trying to build on this ball now, Sarah Dooley, but Armagh repel the attack from Roscommon, and Ciara Hill doubles on it and sends it back down the field, where the Roscommon defence are alive to it with their extra player back there, Una Kelly, dropping it down, but Una Kelly dropping it down into an area maybe where a Roscommon player needs to be. Armagh have that spare player at the minute, and they're looking to knock it long again with Ciara Hill. That definitely, as I said, Karina Doyle seems to be the out ball, but it's being repelled by Roscommon at this moment. It's Sally Bulger looking to drop a ball in around the back. Might work out for Ciara Kilcummins. Referee allowing the play to continue. Kilcummins, here's a chance. Fitzmaurice, lovely play. Steps around the keeper. Oh, chance is gone. And you'd have to give credit to Kiri Devlin. Ball is back out here. Centre forward, Sarah Dooley looking to get inside. Held up again. Referee, he's not going to give a second penalty maybe. Ball is on the ground. Armagh looking for it. Looked like an illegal hand pass, but that ball goes in and eventually goes to the right and wide. The Armagh crowd applaud the Armagh defensive unit there. That chance from Tara Nocton eventually gone wide. But what, you'd have to credit Kiri Devlin, stayed on her feet. She could have overcommitted there, and Fitzmaurice would have only had an empty goal to tap into. What a bit of skill by Rachel Fitzmaurice. If she gets the ball, can be absolutely electric. With chance gone a big, and 90 minutes gone, 1-5 to a goal. And since the penalty, that's been only Roscommon's only attack that's caused a little bit of consternation in that Roscommon defence. Roscommon need to get another score on the board, you would feel, just to settle back into this game. They look like they had settled the quickest, but those scores that have come quickly from Murray and Quinn and the goal from McGeary has really helped Armagh to put themselves in pole position here. So 1-5 to a goal. It's at around a similar stage in the first game. There was only 5 points in it. All of a sudden Laois got 2 goals in quick succession and the game was done and dusted at half time at 3-9 to 3 points. So will Armagh look to do something similar? The difference was Laois were attacking the town end. So if Armagh were to get in front and hold on to a significant lead with that win behind them, and it's not hugely strong down on the pitch, but if the elements were helping them, could be a massive in the second half for them to build up a bit of a score. Mary Grehan urging on her Roscommon team. They're still very much in this, and they know if they can get inside that Armagh half back line, they can cause that full back line problems. But if Kiri Devlin hadn't spilled that ball, Roscommon wouldn't have a score on the board. That's the difference here. Haven't really looked like getting a clear point in this game so far. They've had a goal from a drop ball and a save penalty. That's the only option. Lovely little bit of interplay, but McDermott leaves it behind her, and ball chance gone a begging again as the ball is played over here towards Karina Doyle, that is, of Grainmore, and it is going to be a Roscommon sideline cut that I'd imagine Sally Bulger from Four Roads is going to take. I have to say, good to see the numbers on both sets of jerseys, very decipherable, unlike what we saw in the first game. So if the Laois jersey manufacturer is listening, hopefully you'll have an All-Ireland set for the final that will be easy to read from level 7 in Croke Park. As ball is played outside now, here's an opportunity just out to give herself a bit of space, and there's a fine score from Lily Murray. Sarah Dooley gave her a lovely pass, and the St. Dominic's player has split the post, just ran out a little bit, just I think to give herself a little bit more of an angle, and in the 22nd minute has made it a little bit closer. 4-point game, but Roscommon are playing, if there is elements favouring them, it is on their back. Karina Doyle racing to the line here again, looking to keep it in play. Roscommon and Armagh digging it out here. As you can see, Armagh, I suppose like a number of the Ulster counties we have seen in the championship, sticking with tradition and wearing the skirts. Roscommon, as has been allowed since that special congress, wearing the shorts, but out with it come Emer Hayes, midfielder Ciara Hill. The captain is well held off there by Lily Murray. That could be an interesting tussle. Those four won't give an inch. I've seen Roscommon's pair in the league final against Laois this year, and they're well able to give and take. There's a ball, nice ball into the corner. Sinead Quinn had to come a long way, looking to get away from the attentions of Mairead Lohan. Still holding up, looking to get back. Sinead Quinn striking it off on the right, but it's gone out to the right and wide. Sinead Quinn with her second wide. 2 in 10 minutes, but she got a point after 12. A fine score off her left. Waiting for the puck out then from Michaela Fallon. Look at Armagh's number 7. That's the player who's sitting in the pocket. Emer Hayes. She's mopping up a lot of things at the minute, and down at the other end then you see Una Kelly from a Roscommon point of view. You just wonder, is the sweeper working for Roscommon? But they obviously feel they have to employ that extra player in the defence if they're to keep down the score and give themselves a battling chance at the other end. But the problem is that some of the Roscommon balls into their forward line has been mopped up by the free Armagh players. Long free, sent in then, dropping in on top of Fitzmaurice. She's already had that chance to get inside Kiri Devlin, but that chance is gone. She's 2 players standing on her, so Fitzmaurice is definitely someone Armagh are going to keep an eye on. Ball breaks for Ciara Kelly, the captain. 1-5 to 1-1, 24 minutes gone. You're watching from Kingspan Breffni, the Glen Dimplex Premier Junior All-Ireland Championship semi-final for the right to play Laois on the 10th of August. Good block down there by Katie Convey on Sinead Mannion. Roscommon looking to control the ball in the middle of the field, looking to play it forward. Good takedown there by Lily Murray, the last point score for Roscommon. Looking to get away from Hill, and she has the beatings of her. Tried to play the ball forward, but she lost control of it, took her eye off it, but she's got it back somehow. Looking to step away. I think Simon Redmond giving her the advantage there a little bit, because she was being pulled, I thought, by the Armagh player. No advantage, and then he says there was steps out there, and it's going to be a free in and a chance, I would imagine, for maybe Lily Murray or Tara Nocton to have a shot at this. 45 metres out. Looks like it's going to be Nocton. Got the goal after 3 minutes when a long-range free dropped. Kiri Devlin let it fall from her grasp, hit her boot and just about crossed over the line. Into the town end here. Is this 2 in a row from Roscommon? It is. Narrows the gap to 1 score. 5 minutes half-time. Ball over towards Katie Convey. Clearance so by Hannah Murray. 2 Murrays, of course, on this Roscommon team. As Fitzmaurice, dangerous player. If she gets away, looks like getting a bit of treatment. Armagh bench appealing for steps, but I think she was getting a little bit of a nudge in the back as she tried to get away there, Fitzmaurice. They know she's the player to have to keep an eye on. Ball is going to be clear forward, and Armagh always seem to be available. Looked like could have been a foul on that ball, but play continues right in front of PJ O'Mullen as eventually Armagh complete the clearance, and it's up here towards Karina Doyle. Ball breaks and Doyle is hooshed out over the line along with Sinead Quinn, and the referee said it was a push in the back. It's going to be a free in. It's a physical enough encounter. Roscommon maybe just starting to grow a little bit positive. Out comes Rachel Murray, and as we said, can't give her the opportunity. She will put them away. So you're watching the action here on the Camogie YouTube channel with thanks to the Camogie Association and Glen Dimplex. Coverage of the Premier Junior Camogie Championship semi-finals. Laois in the final, who will join them? Will it be Armagh? Will it be Roscommon? Kerry and Offaly already in Croke Park there in the intermediate. And don't forget the senior semi-finals next week, as Rachel Murray absolutely thought she nailed it. She has. I don't know whether it came off of the hurley of Michaela Fallon or the crossbar, but it's gone over the bar. They won't care. It's over the bar. It's her 5th point. 4 from place balls. Into the 27th minute we go. Rachel Murray, as we know, is the scorer in chief. It's settled maybe nerves, but here go Roscommon getting the opportunity down the other end with the strike to narrow it up again. And it's their centre forward, Sarah Dooley. She knows where the posts are too. Fine shot from play. Perfect response to that free. Roscommon just letting Armagh know they're not gone away here. 3 points from Roscommon now in the last 5 minutes. Lovely bit of play over there by Sally Bulger, trying to get away from her direct opponent. Plays a dinky ball inside, but there's the spare player that they have back there. And that's cleared by Emer Hayes. Over to this side now, trying to get Karina Doyle. Puts the head down now on the end of the hurley. Looking to play the ball inside. Might get back there, but it's going to get forward. Quinn going to have a strike. Kira Hill with the strike. It's over the bar. And it's tit for tat at the minute. You score 1, I score 1. And we've had 2 points and 3 probably in 90 seconds. 2 for Armagh, 1 for Roscommon. Ball is played out by Michaela Fallon. 1-7-1-3, as you can see in the scoreboard. Ball breaks down. Hill didn't make it all the way back to midfield because she stayed forward for that puck out and gives the ball here, trying to get it forward towards Convey. Convey left it behind her, and then eventually Roscommon looked like they've done enough to be able to clear it. Trying to find over here on this line. It's going to be a tough enough task to be able to keep that ball in play for the Roscommon number 10, Celine Gockwin. And it's gone out over the line for a Roscommon, or an Armagh ball, I should say. I take Kira Hill. Looks like it's her that's coming over with the white boots and pink laces, green helmet. Kira from Grainmore, the captain of this unit of Armagh, under the tutelage of PJ O'Mullen. Mary Grehan at the other end for Roscommon. 1-7-1-3. Getting trained away to that ball is Erin McDermott, the Oran player. Looks like she was being fouled, and I think Simon Redmond has seen enough. He's going to give a yellow card here. And it looks like it's number 11. It has picked that up there, Katie Convey. Simon didn't like the challenge after as Tara knocked it now. Maybe with some of the breeze behind her, what would she do? This ball looks like it's going to drop on the edge of the 13 and bat it down by Armagh, but Roscommon are all over it and looking to get inside. Unlucky to fall there. Ball is with Fitzmaurice, didn't get a clean connection on it, and it was just unlucky that Sarah Dooley fell as she was trying to offload that ball. Out it goes to Armagh's number 10, Emer McGeary. Got the second score I should say for Armagh, the first goal for them when she followed up on her original shot that was blocked by Michaela Fallon and put the ball into the back of the net. Good play by Una Kelly, playing as an extra player back there, getting it back to Lily Murray. Look, Murray gets away. I thought it was going to be close, all right, and the referee has called a halt to her gallop, and it's a chance for Armagh to relieve a little bit of pressure. I'm sure we're going to have a little bit of stoppage time, not a whole lot, as the skies continue to be bright overhead, thankfully. I know there's rain on the way, but probably not up this far until the evening time, as that ball with coming up on half an hour mark now. 1-7-1-3. Credit Roscommon, took them a while to get going after they got their goal, and they had a penalty saved as well, but they have taken the fight a bit more to Armagh in the last few minutes. Good ball played forward there, but not read too well by the Roscommon forwards, but they may turn it into something there after Hannah Murray tried to play it forward. Referee keeping an eye on action there, as eventually he has been picking up on those kind of situations, and we have 2 minutes of additional time to play. So a minute and 40 odd seconds or thereabouts to go here in Kingspan Breffni for the second semi-final of the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Premier Junior Championship semi-finals. Laois already in Croke Park on the 10th of August. Don't forget, get your tickets at camogie.ie. Tara Nocton left up a little bit on the end of the hurley. It bounced all the way in. It got a touch. It's going to be a 45. That could have ended anywhere. She it went away from her a little bit as she was striking it, but she just caught it in a kind of a low trajectory and a little bit of a stinger that could have ended up in the bottom corner of Kiri Devlin's net, but it was touched away by one of the Armagh defenders, and it's out for a 45 that Tara Nocton stands over. Already has a goal and a point to her name. Tara Nocton with this 45 right at the post, puts the ball over the bar. And as he said, second quarter of this first half, bit better from a Roscommon point of view. So 40 odd seconds or thereabouts to go here as that ball is poked out. 1-7-1-4. One score game it is as that ball lands at Sinead Mannion, looking to play it forward to the other number 7, the spare player that's back there in Emer Hayes. Lets it over her head, but eventually the Armagh defence with Gemma McCann clear it, looking to get it forward here now, as the Roscommon crowd urge on their player, but also do Armagh, trying to urge on Emer McGeary. McGeary looking to get inside, pops the ball off. It's going to be a strike from Niamh Forker. It's dropping in. Michaela Fallon's got to be careful because Sinead Quinn is there. Oh, Fallon left it behind her. Quinn is in on that. Umpire, it's going to be a free in. And Michaela Fallon probably should have guided that, I think, to the end line a little bit, but instead engaged with the ball and now has coughed up a free, and it's an easy one for Armagh. This should be the last strike of the first half, you'd imagine, and it's a chance to put them more than one score ahead. Rachel Murray has already got 5 points, 4 from place balls. This should be her fifth, you'd imagine. Sorry, her sixth and her fifth from place ball, and she puts that ball over the bar. Does Rachel Murray. 33rd minute, and Simon Redmond has called the half-time 1-8-1-4, and it is Armagh, as I said, looking to build on the action. Got the goal, as we said, after 5 minutes, but it's Rachel Murray is the one that's kept them ticking over. She's 6 points. Ciara Hill has also got a point, as has Sinead Quinn. You'd feel if Roscommon could stop committing some of the fouls that they have, that maybe they'd have a bit more of a chance in it. It took them a while after the goal to get back in the game. They started with the goal, Tara Nocton, a bit of a fortuitous one that went to the back of the net off Kiri Devlin, and then they had a penalty saved, and they kind of went quiet for the guts of 15 minutes before they followed up now with points from Nocton and also Sarah Dooley and Lily Murray. Ian Cooney is with me. Ian, Mary Grehan, you know, she probably would be a bit disappointed that they went out of action for 15 minutes there and allowed Armagh kind of just to get back into the game and settle whatever nerves that they had.
Yeah, and I suppose when you consider that Roscommon have missed an open goal chance for Rachel Fitzmaurice and they've missed a penalty when the Armagh goalkeeper Kerry Devlin saved Tara Nocton's effort. It's that 15 minutes where they did seem to go to sleep, and Armagh's physicality really came to the fore. When there's ruck ball, what you notice is that there's always 3-4 Armagh players in around that ruck ball, and they sort of outnumber Roscommon, and that sort of makes it easier for them to win that. Like, Armagh's physicality has been the standout feature for me. They're not allowing Roscommon time to settle on the ball. Roscommon have had plenty of possession, but a lot of the deliveries into the forward line are aimless, and I suppose that has resulted in their scoring threat being curbed. But I think Roscommon have been very competitive. It's much more competitive than the first game. And so I think Mary Graham will be telling her troops at half-time, look, ladies, we're still in this, and if we go out and keep that intensity up, maybe the scores will come, and those two open goal chances, the penalty and the miss by Rachel Fitzmaurice, you get another few of them and you stick them in the net, it's game on.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm not discrediting anything the Roscommon have done ultimately in the game. They're very much in it. From PJ O'Mullins, and I can see him down here having a good chat with his backroom team. Ultimately, Rachel Murray has kept them ticking along here. They probably haven't produced a whole lot from play, and that's probably credit to the Roscommon defensive unit as well. Roscommon have probably been a little bit naive in some of the frees they've given away, but if they didn't have Murray as well, Armagh might be asking questions of themselves here too at half-time. Yeah, well, she's a class act. Yes. I mean, I suppose she's the chief ace marks person for the team. She scores the free she got down here from under the stand that bounced off the crossbar. Like, that's just sheer class, and you can't legislate for that. Roscommon have given away a couple of soft frees, you'd have to say, and the one there at the end when Michaela Falling came out, they'll be disappointed with that one. But Rachel Murray has been keeping, I suppose, Armagh ticking over. Roscommon have withdrawn Una Kelly as a sweeper. The problem with that is that Armagh have an extra body in defence, and anytime the ball comes in, Roscommon do seem to be outnumbered in that defence. But they have shown that when they run at that Armagh defence, they can get some reward. But you'd have to say Armagh 4-point lead are in the box seat. But Roscommon will be quietly pleased with how competitive they've been. As I said to you before the match, Killian, that the challenge was to see could they bridge that gap, which was pretty obvious between the teams when they met in Lisnamult earlier in the year. And the signs are that Roscommon have gone some way to bridging that gap. Now ultimately, can they bridge it the whole way? It doesn't look like it at the moment. I think Armagh have the greater threat up front, but Roscommon are still in this game, and I suppose that's the hope they'll cling to in the second half. Well, the last thing to you though, it's Roscommon though that have provided the goal mode action in lots of ways, and probably should have at least one more, and maybe could even had three. Yeah, I suppose, as I said to you, the penalty miss, it was a pretty routine save for the Armagh goalkeeper, and I think Rachel Fitzmaurice, who I think Roscommon really need to get more into the game. I don't think it's working playing her in there at full forward. I mean, she needs to be running at goal as opposed to trying to win maybe 50-50 ball that's going in on top of her. So they need to get Rachel more into the game. She's the team captain. I mean, you look at the impact that the Armagh captain Ciara Hill is having in the middle of the field for Armagh. She's been excellent. So I think they need to get Rachel more into the game. Now, whether that means putting someone else in full forward and bringing her out maybe to centre forward or out around the middle, but they need to get her running at that Armagh defence, because I think it's not working having her there on the edge of the square at the moment. Right. The voice there of Ian Cooney. Thanks, Ian, again for giving us your thoughts on that. It is 1-8 to 1-4. Thankfully, a bit more competitive than the other semi-final was, but it is now a battle to see who will be playing Laois in the Croke Park decider, the Premier Junior final, of course, on the 10th of August. And at the minute, it looks like it's Armagh's. But credit to Roscommon, not here to make up the numbers, and they're within touching distance of this Armagh team, who will be attacking the town end and will have some of the elements behind them for the second half. But for the moment here, we're going to take a break, but it's Armagh that lead by 1-8 to 1-4. Welcome back here to Kingspan Breffni Park. You can see Simon Redmond in the middle, waiting for all the players to get to the go mode. Armagh just coming back out onto the field of play, and we are 3:45 or thereabouts, so not bad, I suppose, on timing. We should have a winner in at about the 4:20 mark, and who will be playing Laois on the 10th of August. So Ciara Hill leaving that ball and trying to kick it on there. Niamh Forker. Sinead Mannion getting that ball away. Roscommon defence come across to try and cut that off, but getting it, Murray loses it, but gets a touch somehow to get it on. Free going to be given here as Murray gets a strike off, bit of a clash. She got the ball from Katie Convey and put the ball over the bar, did Rachel Murray. Her second from play, and she now has 7 in all. She was getting the advantage. Katie Convey had been fouled, said the referee. Perfect start from Armagh, something that Roscommon needed. Pushing the lead out now. Roscommon, you'd feel now at this stage, may need to find the back of the onion sack as the ball breaks over here towards Tara Naughton. She might be one that would prove it. A goal and a point in that first, goal and 2 points in that first half from a free and a 45. Ball is played forward. Not a great ball. Didn't have a whole lot of trajectory on it from Sally Bulger, and the Armagh defence deal with it with fullback Gemma McCann delivering over the far side, where it's taken very, very well on the hop there by Karina Doyle. Being urged every time she gets the ball to go with it. And has she got the score? She has got the score. And PJ O'Mullen will be happy with that. All through the first half, here on the stand side, as she attacked the scoreboard end, she was being urged to set fire, and eventually Karina Doyle got that ball over on that side and took the angle and the score. 110 to 1-4. The start that Roscommon probably needed, Armagh have got. Are they going to stamp their authority on this game and decide it? But here comes Roscommon getting on the break here now. Chance maybe to come from Bulger, playing the ball inside to Dooley. Dooley keeps hold of it, but she's beaten by 2 Armagh players. Plays a nice ball across here now. Chance for our Roscommon to get on the scoreboard. Naughton puts it over the bar. Good bit of interchange of play. And Tara Naughton, standout player for Roscommon here at the minute, has them on the scoreboard the second half. 110-1-5. Their group game ended up 3-14 to 1-9. We're still in that kind of territory as Rachel Murray gets away from the attentions there of Aideen O'Brien. Playing the ball inside to Quinn. Quinn now has a player inside, but she's thinking of bearing down and goal. Quinn with the shot. And the ball is in the back of the net. There wasn't a whole lot Michaela Fallon could do about that. And I think there's a statement of intent from Armagh. They've come straight out, and it's now double scores. And players being told back down the field, fair play, that's your goal. Sinead Quinn, once she cut inside, there was no other option she was thinking about, and she put the ball to the back of the net. A goal and a point for her name. And they've come out with purpose. Their full forward line have got a goal and 2 points at the start of this second half, and that's the difference in the score. Roscommon needs something that has started happening quickly, and they're trying to find Naughton. Naughton has got their score at the start of this second half, but a goal and 2 points from Armagh could be the situation that pushes them out into an unassailable lead. And you would feel Roscommon probably need to find the back of the net in the next 5 minutes. Don't forget, they missed an open goal, although it was great credit Kiri Devlin was able to step Fitzmaurice away from the shot, and they also missed the penalty. As that Paul Murray trying to play it inside, dinky ball, might catch out the defence, and nearly did. Roscommon are at 6s and 7s with it though, and driving onto it straight away is Katie Convey. Convey's in. Convey though, met by Fallon, and she eventually gets that ball away, Michaela Fallon, and a good intelligent ball out here to the middle. Trying to drive on now Roscommon. Armagh putting the heads down in their mean business. Mary Grehan urging on her team to get in and mark up on the Armagh players, and she's not happy with that because the player that was loose that she wanted marked is the one that's put the ball nearly over the bar. Niamh Forker was in acres of space. Her second shot, her second wide, and it is helter-skelter start like it was at the start of the first half. Helter-skelter start the second half. Message being given to the Armagh fullback Gemma McCann. The ball is out on the far side. Bit of a ruck, and Simon Redmond's happy to stay out of it for the minute and see if the play continues. And it's Roscommon that do come out of the ruck, trying to get that ball on. Fitzmaurice is now back out round the middle. Advantage being played to her. Ball is played inside. Ball might work out now. Looks like Dooley and Fitzmaurice have changed positions, but the referee is calling it back, and I'd imagine Naughton is going to maybe knock this ball in. Looks like a sub is going to be coming in for Armagh, and they're preparing the paperwork down here. Harry McBride, who we talked to before the game, the liaison officer with this team here today. Looks like it's a 25 there as we get ready for this freed. So Naughton, the standout player for Roscommon today. She's pulled that though to the right, got to be kept in play. Came back after Roscommon hand, and then was kicked out over the line by an Armagh player, and it's a 45. So a chance here for Roscommon. Get back in touch here. 16 points 8, 210 to 1-5. Number 25 is going to come in for Armagh. Fianna Loughran from Granmore. As Naughton sends that towards the scoreboard end and over the bar. Tara Naughton, she is the shining force in this Roscommon team. That's a goal and 4 points for her. Over on the far side, Lily Murray caught that ball and returns it down, but asking a lot there maybe of, I think it was Sarah Dooley to come out and win that. Sarah's moving a bit gingerly. I wonder if she picked up a bit of a knock. Is that maybe why Fitzmaurice and herself have been moved? But here goes Fitzmaurice then. Puts the ball on the end of the hurt. She is a danger woman if she can get running at the goal. Held up there, an advantage being given. Gives the ball here to Naughton. Naughton going to settle on this. Dropping it in. The referee's calling it back though. It's going to be a free in. And a chance here now again. And it is that substitution about to get ready. So that is Fianna coming into the play. 37 minutes, and it looks like number 8, Grace Gaffney, is coming off. As we get ready for this free. So 1-2 to 2 points at the start of this second half. And that's a bad miss, I would feel, at this stage of the game from Tara Naughton. Just to keep them, within touch there. Especially it was probably the easier one of the ones that she has had. Ball breaks, and it's Una Kelly. Una that's playing as a spare player back there. So sub that's come into Fianna Loughran that plays that ball down towards Sinead Quinn that got the goal. Quinn looking to get inside. If she gets away, she's being held around the waist. She's going to have the shot off her left hand side. It's gone over the bar. The referee was playing advantage. Sinead Quinn opening up at the start of this second half. It's a goal and 2 points now. So that's a point now for Karina Doyle, a goal and 2 for Sinead Quinn, and we have 7 points from Rachel Murray. We've also got a goal from Emer McGeary, a point from Ciara Hill. That's the Armagh 2-11 as the ball is returned down here towards Quinn, looking to get away from her direct marker, causing all sorts of problems for Mairead Lohan. Quinn looking to get inside now. Sinead Quinn and Mairead Lohan sound like two traditional Irish singers as the ball breaks on the ground. Going to be picked up again by Quinn, being helped out there by Ciara Kilcommon, or I should say Karina Doyle. Ball is dropped into Michaela Fallon's hand and she knocks it out though. It's the player that's just come in, Loughran, trying to get away. Well tackled there by Lily Murray, and Murray puts the head down and tries to get away, but Loughran's not giving up the ghost here, trying to get away. It looked like an illegal hold up, and eventually referee said that she overstepped the ball. Have to say that could have went either way. I thought the hurley of Loughran was in over the shoulder there, Murray, and Murray not happy, and Simon Redmond now has made that a little bit easier for Armagh. And I have to say now, I thought a little bit harsh on Roscommon there, with a chance here for a free in now for Rachel Murray. Has scored 5 dead balls, and she has 7 in all. The chance to get her 8 here as she puts this ball down and puts it between the posts, Rachel Murray. And once she has it, there's no question about it, the Granmore Lady is going to put it over the bar. 2-12-1-6, back to double scores, and that little bit of a burst from Roscommon now in danger of being put away as that ball is knocked down here, down the wing towards Murray, who was free on that side. Rachel Murray, is this going to be 2 on the bounce? No, it's gone out to the right and wide there from Rachel Murray. Could have been 2 in very quick succession. 2-12-1-6, as we said. Armagh, that goal from Sinead Quinn, huge in the context of the game at the start of the second half. Got 1-2 in the opening couple of minutes. Ball breaks. Roscommon though not giving up the fight, and they are a team that are coming. There is no doubt about it, and you'd hope that they will be able to progress themselves in Wicklow. But it is a sideline cut as Roscommon make a change. Number 20 that's coming in is Grace Jones from Tulsk. Famous name. Grace Jones is coming in for Celine Gackwin. Unfortunately for Celine, I don't think things ran well for her on that side of the field, as Ciara Kelly, one-handed, coming into that, gets a good strike and sideline cut in that Murray is able to get on to. All of a sudden Rachel Murray starting to take control of this game, but she's gone in to the right and wide. 2 wides in quick succession now from Rachel after getting that free, which she mightn't be happy about, but she still has 8 points to her name of the 2-12 that's on the board. Ball breaks here. This, of course, is the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Premier Junior Camogie Championship semi-finals. Laois already in the final on the 10th of August. Armagh look like they're going to be joining them because they lead, as we said here, comprehensively 2-12-1-6. Armagh just haven't been able to get to grips at all, and challenge off the ball there that the Armagh management not overly happy with, but play was allowed to continue in front of all the officials, and they obviously didn't see too much, but physio is out attending to the Armagh player that's currently on the ground. No play, no call to stop. I don't think it's a head injury, but just checking on the player. They're all happy here, the officials, that everything is okay, and it's the sub that's just in that's trying to get going, feeding Loughran. Ball over on the far side as Armagh attack, of course, the town end here of the fine Kingspan Breffni here in Cavan Town. Sun bedecked at the minute, and Armagh in control here. Mary Quinn, Karina Doyle, Emer McGeary, Ciara Hill, they're all the ones that have led by example here. Have to credit Tara Nocton, she's taken the fight. Midfield, Sally Bulger, Lily Murray haven't gone up, Sarah Dooley as well. Rachel Fitzmaurice has tried. She just hasn't been able to get in a position that she might be able to threaten as that long range free goes in, and the umpires, that ball has gone over the bar, and that's a hell of a score from Ciara Hill. Ciara Hill used the elements well there, goes out to 2-13, and it is now entering in towards last quarter stages, and it looks like the air is starting to sip out of that balloon, the Roscommon balloon, but this is one lady that might be able to turn it around. Trying to get forward, Rachel Fitzmaurice, but took a little bit too much down a blind alley there a little bit, and ball that's gone out. So it looks like a change, is it, for Roscommon, number 17. Una Kelly, there's 2 Una Kellys now going to be on the field for Roscommon. One from Four Roads and one from Athleague. Oh, we're going to clarify that. She's Aileen O'Brien is coming off the field of play now with 16 minutes remaining. Oh, Una Kelly and Una Kelly, one wearing 15, one wearing 17, and both are in defence. Athleague and Tulsk, we'll have to call them, as the ball played forward, and they both spell their name the same. As that ball is played across field now. Looking to get on this ball is again Rachel Murray, the go-to woman for Armagh. Oh, lovely pop ball. It was a lovely run, you'd have to say, from Loughran. Going to have a strike, and it's blocked away by Fallon. Out for 45. And I think it was actually Grace Jones was the one with the shot there, but saved by Michaela Fallon. So 45 going to be taken here by Rachel Murray. She's had all types of scores in her pocket from play and from frees. Now she's going to add at 45 and drops that ball over the bar. Rachel Murray going to be so key. She's got a 45 on 45. That's how that has worked out. That's how equal that lady has been to the game here today. As that ball breaks off the back, and it's Maeve O'Hare been strong in that Armagh defence, looking to get that ball forward, but referee had already called the foul, and just a meeting of two players, I think, on this collision. But the Armagh player has come off the worst, and it's going to be a free that Ciara Hill is going to take. She's already launched one from her own 65, so now you wouldn't bet against her putting this ball over the bar. It's interesting here. This is twice Gemma McCann has come to the sideline to speak to the management, and I'm wondering, is she directing operations obviously back there? But I don't know. Maybe have to ask the Armagh management about that at the end. But that's the second conversation we've seen had on the sideline while we've had a break in play, as Ciara Hill puts all force behind that, dropping it in. Off the upright it comes to Quinn. Quinn misses it the first time. Has the second shot. Fallon nearly went by her left shoulder, but she gets it out and away, and it's into the grateful hand of Tara Naughton. Naughton delivering this ball down along the wing now. Armagh have had a chance, gone a begging, being urged on or Roscommon. They need to find goals, you'd feel, quick, and Fitzmaurice will be the one. Gets inside. Fitzmaurice coming in along the side, going to have a strike. It's a dangerous angle to be at. Gets a knock on that ball, but it wasn't a great touch after all that, and Ciara Kilcommons wasn't in a great position to be able to ultimately help her out. Fitzmaurice again just probably being guilty. She's forcing it a little bit, of maybe gone down the alleys a little bit. Needs to be more on the centre line, you would feel, if they're going to trouble this Armagh defence. Armagh looking to come out here. Ciara Hill, she's had a massive game, I have to say, and definitely playing a captain's part. Ian Cooney picked her out at half time, and he was kind of saying that maybe Roscommon needed to get more of Rachel Fitzmaurice into this game, being the captain as well. But Ciara Hill, leading by example, has a cut at that and misses. Entitled to go and have a second strike at it. Catches a great ball, but it's down out to the spare player for Roscommon that's back there. Should I say spare player, the sweeper that they are playing in this game, and that is Una Kelly. Una Kelly from Four Roads. Una Kelly from at League is also on the field of play. She's wearing 17. Coming charging forward here now is Armagh's number 12, Niamh Forker. Gets a ball off, and here we go. Opportunity again to maybe bear down and goal. This is game done and dusted. Fallon stood strong, batted the ball away. In fairness, Michaela Fallon has made two important saves for Roscommon. If they are to stay in this game, they still find themselves 11 points down, but that you would feel would have been done and dusted, and it's the Roscommon defence that eventually come out with it there and clear it over on that far side. Roscommon heads and the body language and everything starting to drift away here, and it's Armagh now looking to make a little bit of hay. They've taken the ball over the line down there, and again we draw a little bit of a breath. It was a chance there for Armagh to finish that, and they were inside. They had a 2-on-1 situation, but the shot gone a begging, and you'd have to credit Fallon with the save. She's had two saves now on 48 and 49 minutes to keep her team. And now I have to say, if goals were conceded there, it would be very harsh on Roscommon. I think in fairness to them, they have brought the game to Armagh, but Armagh at the start of this second half have just been different gravy. 1-6 to 2 points they lead the second half as Armagh get ready to make another change. With the looks of things, it might be Leisha McConnell from Middletown, I think I see, is about to come in, but wouldn't be surprised if PJ O'Mullen starts to empty the bench somewhat, give players an opportunity of getting game time here before an All-Ireland final back in Croke Park on the 10th of August, where they will play Laois. Unless some miracle happens for Armagh or for Roscommon, it looks like it's going to be Armagh and Laois will join Kerry and Offaly in the final. Fitzmaurice didn't hear the whistle, went to play on, but the referee had blown it in fairness, and it's going to be a free back around the Roscommon 50 metres or thereabouts. It's actually 55 to be more precise. A long ball. Now you would feel Roscommon need a goal. Delivered long, by centre back, and that's a dangerous ball in on top of Fitzmaurice, and in behind maybe. Here's a chance. Ball is on the deck. Got to be careful. Kiri Devlin, we saw what happened. Kiri didn't have a great start, but in fairness, since then she's made 3 important clearances and played a big part in not conceding a goal when Fitzmaurice got through in a 1-on-1 situation. Looks like it was hot potato a little bit there between Roscommon and Armagh players. It's out over the line, and it's going to be a sideline cut for the Westerners. Is it? No, in the Loughnane it said that it's a Armagh ball, and the officials drawing the ire of some of the Roscommon fans here. And of course, I suppose when you have a vested interest in this, you're going to feel that everyone and everything is against you. Kira Hill didn't get a great connection on that, but gets it into the middle where Roscommon are able to take it away now with Sarah Dooley. Dooley keeping it away from Fianna Loughren. Gets the ball over here on the far side. Goes for the return. Looking to step inside now. Needs to get something on the board from this attack, and she puts that ball over the bar. Credit Sarah Dooley. All of her own making after she picked up the break from that sideline cut, and with 10 minutes or thereabouts remaining, it is double score game again, 2-14 to 1-7, 20 points to 10. It was 3-14 to 1-9 in their first group game of this Premier Junior Championship as Roscommon get that ball across now. Armagh getting ready to bring another substitution in. Lily Murray gets it across here to Naughton, the standout player for Roscommon today, striking it towards the right hand upright. Looks like it's pulled though, and it's out to the right and wide, and unfortunately there's been a couple of them that Roscommon could have utilised a little bit better, and they might have been a bit closer, but Armagh have also been guilty of a couple of aimless efforts as well, but they continue to lead 2-14 to 1-7. Pat Collier and Robert Jones have seen enough. They know they're going to be meeting Armagh in the final, and they have enough to analyse, and I'm sure they'll be watching back the action on YouTube later on this evening if they get that chance. 3 weeks of course for the All-Ireland final. I'm sure the girls might be allowed to let their hair down tonight and enjoy being in that All-Ireland final. Perfect build-up now and allow some injuries to clear up and everything, but the Laois backroom team and everything heading for the exits and the bus home before the crowd leave for this game, which heading now in one direction. Kira Hill, fantastic play, you'd have to say, all this game. There's Fianna Loughren, who I have to credit, put her hand up for an All-Ireland final place in the 15. She definitely come in and made herself awkward and busy, and ball breaks in and around 50 metres out, and Armagh, you'd have to say, that start to the second half, 1-8 to 1-4, Roscommon really needed to come out and get the opening score just to keep asking questions, but it was Armagh that got a goal and 2 points, and they all came in the first 3 minutes. A point from Rachel Murray, point from Carina Doyle, and then the goal from Sinead Quinn, and they've added to that since, but that was the start that ultimately decided this. And here's Quinn now holding off, and I thought illegally shoving away Mairead Lohan there, but she's allowed to continue, put that ball over the bar. Sinead Quinn has had a big second half. That's a goal and 2 points for her with 53 minutes gone. At this stage now you'd feel from Armagh they just keep tapping things over, but from a Roscommon point of view, maybe forget about the sweeper. You're going to have to go for it here. 2-15 to 1-7 as the ball breaks here on the line, and it's going to be an Armagh ball. Again, discussion with the linesman, and they're not overly happy as another substitution getting ready to come in. I think it's the substitution that we called a few minutes ago. So change about to come in, and looks like there's a bit of confusion. And it's number 12 has come on. 11 went up on the board, but it's number 12, Niamh Forker, that has come off. And that makes on 54 minutes. Kira Hill with the little twirl of the hurley as she does, knocking that ball down. It's the number 18, Leisha McConnell, that's come on, gets a touch on that ball. Armagh have it now and they're controlling this game. So Leisha McConnell getting that ball. Sinead Quinn right to the line. She wasn't, I have to say, the ball was in play. Her feet were out of play, but the ball has gone somehow inside. Roscommon falling asleep a little bit. Shot goes in and it's up and over the bar. And that's fine score from Armagh, and looks like number 10 Emer McGarry that's got that, and Everyone had fallen asleep there a little bit, and now linesman drew the attention, Simon Redmond, to, I'd say, must have been a bit of verbals on the line here, and it's going to be a yellow card for Roscommon player. And Sally Bulger is the one that picks up that yellow card. So Roscommon continuing to play that withdrawn player with 5 minutes remaining. I would be thinking, I know it might open up the floodgates a little bit, but you have to have a chance at the other end. But it's over here towards Murray. Murray leading Roscommon on a merry dance, is she? No. Got out to the left and wide. Fourth wide in all in this game. 56 minutes we have, and but she's 9 points of Armagh's 216. Ball breaks off McCann. Trying to get in there again is Emer Hayes. Knocks it forward, but it's Fitzmaurice. We haven't really seen her go. Fitzmaurice looking to step inside. McCann takes one hand, pulls at the jersey. Definite free in. You would imagine referee is calling the free as Armagh get ready to bring in number 21, Nicola Woods. And coming off is Emer Hayes. Emer has been the player that was the spare back there because of the Roscommon sweeper, and she did her job, and management giving her a deserved rest. Ball is going to be drilled in there, but it was maybe not. This is the issue I have in that situation with crowded goal mode. I'm not sure going for goal is the one. As Roscommon look to get forward again. Ball drops on the deck. Ball back. Knocked in. Holds off the Armagh player. Looking to step inside. Has the scoop lifted out here. Looking to turn into a bit of a challenge there is Sarah Dooley. Dooley has been given the advantage. Has a shot. Going to be called back for a free. And a chance to make it a double score game again. So for me, Ciara Hill, Rachel Murray and Sinead Quinn probably the ones in contention. Short free taken there. Sarah Dooley for our Player of the Match award. From Roscommon point of view, probably Tara Naughton is the one that took the game. Sarah Dooley given an option as well. And the midfielders Sally Bulger and Lily Murray at different occasions. Ball is there. Now an opportunity. Low shot coming in from an angle. But Alexa put the ball over the bar. And that's a point for Roscommon, making it 2-16-1-8. And double score game here as we have as number 23 comes in. Sally Bulger with that point. As number 23 comes in for Armagh. Tierna Maxwell McKeever is in, and she replaces Emer McGeary. Ball is played down the far end now. It's gone over the heads of everybody. Una Kelly trying to get back there. The two Una Kellys helping each other out. One from Four Roads and the other from Atleague. Ball is dropping in, but it's Fallon that is able to clear it over the far side. Goes over the head of the players over on the far side, but it's Fiona Loughran who drives on, dropping this ball in. No one following in just yet. It's a bit of a fly shot at it. Ball is left on the edge of the square. Who's going to deal with it? Fallon it was left to her to pick it up, but Sinead Mannion eventually is the one I think that digs it out. Probably left it to her goalkeeper when she should have went for it. Ciara Hill gets in there. Ciara Hill, a big second half, has dictated an awful lot of things. Lovely ball across, missed there by Doyle as she tried to come onto that ball. It breaks for the number 18, trying to get it to Murray. A ball there with Leisha McConnell tried to get it to Murray, but the ball, referee said it's going to be a free in and a chance for Armagh to get on to more scores. Looks like they're going to make another substitution. Number 20 is coming in, and that is Niamh Murphy from Derrynoose. Niamh is coming in with time almost up, and I think she's replacing Sinead Quinn. So Sinead Quinn with a goal and 3 points here. That goal obviously key to the start of the second half that they just kicked on. 1-8 to 1-4 at half time. That ball is put up and over the bar. And Rachel Murray makes it 10 points for her. So, Rachel Murray has had 14 shots a goal and she's got 10 of the 217. Ball falls on the deck and 3 minutes of additional time to be played. Free by Lily Murray, dropping it up along the wing, looking for Fitzmaurice. As we said, haven't seen enough of this lady to be able to cause trouble, but she gets inside the Armagh defence. 3 Armagh players around her. Fitzmaurice gets inside. In the league final, she did nearly something different against Laois, but that ball has been batted away just enough there from the Armagh number 20. Ball is eventually cleared over to this side. Karina Doyle trying to keep it in play, gets it to Hill. Hill out in front of Hannah Murray, looking in field now, trying to deliver a ball, but it's nearly cut out there by the other number 9, Lily Murray. Murray gets into and wins that ball back, looking to drive forward. Roscommon trying to finish with a little bit of a flourish, could have find the back of the net. Ball is over here towards Sarah Dooley. 2 points to her name in this game, and she's put the hammer down and going, looking to pop the pass, but I don't think expectation there of delivering the pass was clear. And it's gone on the ground on the top of the D. Ball is out here towards Nocton. Roscommon standout player. Took the fight to them all game, in fairness. Over to Fitzmaurice, but she's held off there by the Armagh number 5. The opportunity maybe comes inside, blocked down. Here's Fitzmaurice, turns into a little bit of trouble, getting that ball off, and it's heading towards the far side. Opportunity still for Sarah Dooley. Dooley on the top of the D, looking to turn around, gentle shot, dropping it in. Dangerous ball, Devlin, oh, it came off for Hurley. We saw that in the first half, it could have went anywhere. Ball eventually is kicked out here. Chance maybe. Sally Bulger going to send it back in, but it's gone out to the right and wide. So the ball is on the break over on the far side. Batted away. It's Roscommon looking to get it now with Erin Dermot. Over across the field it goes. Roscommon looking to try and dive with their boots on. The ball is heading on with Karina Doyle. Looking to drive forward. The referee said that she's overplayed the ball. No, ball is on the ground again. Time is up, and I'd say this will be the last bit now from Simon Redmond. It's going to be Armagh and Laois in the final, and there it is. Game over. 2-17 to 1-8. A similar score to their group match that day was 3-14 to 1-9. Roscommon might rue a couple of chances in that first half, but Armagh were even better in the second half, scored 1-9, 1-8 in the first half. 1-8 was Roscommon's overall total. Ian, you have to take your hats off to Armagh. The start to the second half, you know, their inside line got a goal and 2 points, and that ultimately decided this game, didn't it?
Yeah, there was a vast gulf in class between the sides in the end. Killian was an excellent performance from well-rounded performance, good team performance, led by their captain Ciara Hill in the middle of the field, who I thought was outstanding. Sinead Quinn at full forward. You know, the ease at which she was able to turn Mairead Lohan and get that second Armagh goal. You know, I suppose that showcased the difference between the teams. And look, when the teams met in Lisnamolt earlier in the year, I think there was 11 points between them. The gap hasn't closed, which shows that Armagh have improved. Roscommon have improved as well, in fairness to them, but I think Armagh have improved, and I think it's a hell of a final now between Armagh and Laois.
Yeah, it should be, and it probably is the one that people expected. But let's give some credit to Roscommon. They're a coming team, I would think. They've too much quality there that they won't deliver at some point in the future.
But I think it's vitally important now that Mary Grehan, stays on as manager and brings this young team through and gets a commitment off what is a very experienced young team based on a lot of underage teams that have enjoyed All-Ireland success. So it's going to take time. Like that Armagh team are very experienced, have been in Croke Park, have played at intermediate level. So they know what it takes to win All-Ireland. It's going to take that Roscommon team a couple of years, but if Mary Grehan sticks with them, I think they can get there in the end. I think, as you rightly say, outside of Armagh and Laois, they are the best team in this Premier Junior Championship, and that's something to have to build on next year, and hopefully Mary Grehan will be at the helm to hopefully bring a bit of success to the county.
Thanks indeed, Ian, for your views on that. But it is Armagh and Laois who are in the final on the 10th of August, so make sure if you're an Armagh Laois fan that you will be there in Croke Park on that day. We're going to just take a quick break, and then we're down to the sideline to hear from our player of the match and the winning manager. And you're welcome back here pitch side. You can see Ukron Brian Malloy presenting Ciara Hill with her player of the match, and the paparazzi around to take her picture. Ciara, we're just on the stream here. Congratulations to you as our player of the match back in Croke Park, and you obviously meant business out there today.
Yeah, I think at the start of the year we set that goal. We wanted to make it to Croke Park, and we really knuckled down today, and you could see how much we wanted it.
Coming into this game though, I'm sure you weren't taking Roscommon or anything like that for granted, because semi-finals you've been there and they haven't gone well sometimes.
Definitely, you can never be complacent. We knew today coming in here it's going to be a tough physical match, and we knew Roscommon were going to be a really tough side to get over, so thankfully it worked in our favour today and we got through and we're into the final. So.
Ciara, this team though, a new team in somewhat, there's a few players have gone obviously that tried to get over the line, unfortunately didn't maybe get there. There's a lot of players have taken up the mantle, let's say.
Yeah, we're a really young team now. We've got a lot of young girls that's come in this year, and there's a lot of speed up in our forward line, which is great. But it's good to see new faces, and hopefully we do all the Armagh players that are no longer with us on the team this year justice and do it all the way. Well,
you as a captain played a captain's part, if you don't mind me saying. You're our player of the match. What's it going to be like now to lead your team out in the county, out in Croke Park?
Oh, for me, it's just an amazing achievement. The last time we were in Croke Park, I was out with a cruciate ligament injury and I didn't get to play that day. So for a personal note, it means a lot. And to be able to lead my team out, it's going to be amazing, and I can't wait for it. Knuckle down the next 3 weeks.
Sure you will, 3 weeks. Congratulations to you, Ciara. You're our player of the match, and for joining us here this afternoon. We're going to hear from the Armagh manager, if I can find him there in the crew. I know he was around there. He's over talking at the minute. If someone wants to grab him, just to give me a quick word there while we're live, PJ. He's coming across to me here. Thanks, PJ. I do appreciate it. We'll be short and sweet. You're no stranger to us here anyway, and you're no stranger to getting to finals either, PJ. That was an impressive performance.
Well, look, we I suppose after the start we had, we conceded a bad goal in the first minute, and from then to the end of the whole, I think, one more goal chance was all they had. Our defence, I would love to see the tackle count. It has to be very high. So, look, we've done enough to win the day, and today is all about getting through to the final. So, plenty to work on, and look, we'll go in the next day. At least have been very impressive, beat us well in the league, and we've a lot of work to do to get up to that. For the next day.
But looking at it, there's been, as I mentioned to Ciara, there's been a few changes within the personnel and the group and everything like that. For players to come in and reach that height and get you back in Croke Park, it's phenomenal in some ways.
Well, look, we have a very young panel. When we came in at the start of the year, I knew very little about Armagh Camogie, knew very little about the people involved, and we reached out to everybody. And we just decided, look, we ask everybody, and the people that turned us down, fair enough. So we had a lot of good youngsters. They won an All-Ireland minor title. We've brought the 4 of them finished there. You know what I mean? So I couldn't believe it. We were actually talking on Thursday night. The oldest player in that team's 30. You know what I mean? So there's plenty of camogie in them. But look, they bought into what we were trying to do. The county board have bought into what we're trying to do. We're probably ahead of ourselves where we want to be, but we're there, and when we're there now, we're going to try and win it.
Absolutely. But semi-finals have been something of Armagh in the past that hasn't gone well for them. This could be huge in the psychological. For some of the players that have obviously stuck with you and whatever, could be huge psychological lift.
Well, that's it. Like there's the more experienced members of the panel have lost 3 finals in Croke Park, you know what I mean? So there's still 6 or 7 of them there, but that hurt seems to be driving them on, and it seems to be bringing out something in the younger players as well. You know, like they've no fear, they've no baggage. You know, as I say, it's a new panel, it's a new team, and fresh ideas, and you know they want to be the best they can, and hopefully that their result, you know, brings them on. You know, and I think hard man. That was physically a very tough match, and we came through it well. We've no injuries, so. You know, hopefully it stands to them, and hopefully when they get to Croke Park, you know, everybody that's been there before knows it's a big place. You can freeze in it, but you know, we'll do our best to prepare them the best we can.
PJ, do you think now, you know, you as a manager, the experience you've had, obviously getting to Croke Park and obviously winning an All-Ireland title after a replay and all that, but do you think that you'll be calling on some of that experience and you're using your backroom team a little bit over the next 3 weeks?
Yeah, well, look, the background team have been excellent. You know what I mean? They do their work, and you know we never step on each other's toes. Whatever experience I have, you know, I try and bring it to them. You know, but look, All-Ireland final day is about players. The build-up's about the players. It's not about the management teams. You know, we'll work hard, we'll train hard, we'll have training prepared well. You know, but the next 3 weeks is about them girls, and Croke Park's about them girls, you know, and they're playing in the biggest stage in the camogie calendar, and you know that's a massive thing. You know, there's very few players get to do that. So, you know, for this group to get it so early and so young, you know, down the line it'll stand to them. And look, with a bit of luck and you know a bit of learning from the last day, you know, we'll try and give it our best and see where it takes us.
3 weeks now, you have a little bit of a headache, PJ, don't you? Because there's a few players stepped up and put their hand up there.
Well, like it's all about the panel. Like that's what we were saying there. We asked the players at half time, you know, just keep going, empty the tank, and we'll take you off, and we've fresh legs to bring in, you know, and. You know, the legs we brought in, like I have to commend one of them there, like Fiona Lochran was supposed to go on holiday on Thursday, and we asked her to change her flight, and there she came in and had a massive impact there, you know what I mean? So them things all, you know, the girls in the panel see that there, you know what I mean? You don't have to mention it, and they're feeding off that and gaining off it. So there's a tight bond. I hope it sticks to them. I hope I have as many headaches as I can picking a team the next day, because it's a manager and a management team. That's what you want. You want headaches. You want everybody with their hand in the air, and then look, if it goes wrong, well then, you know, it's our fault.
Well, congratulations to you. You're in the final, and we'll talk to you in a few weeks. Thanks indeed, PJ O'Hare there. Wrapping up our coverage then here. So it is Armagh and Laois who are joining Offaly and Kerry on All-Ireland final day on August the 10th. That game, of course, all being played out in Croke Park. Premier Junior final is at 1 o'clock, at 3 o'clock the Inter. And who will be in the senior final? Well, that's a big battle next week, of course, at UPMC and Nolan Park. You can catch the fixtures on the website, but they will be on national broadcaster RT next Saturday afternoon, when, of course, you see Cork and Waterford go toe-to-toe, and you have Tipperary and Galway. So 4 teams in Croke Park. We have to whittle it down to 6. Let's see how that all works out next weekend. But congratulations to Laois and Armagh. Credit to Wicklow and Roscommon. It wasn't their day, but they did give it all. Thanks to Ian Cooney and for all my contributors throughout the afternoon here, trying to give us a little bit of colour ahead of this game. And especially thanks to Luke for all the great work he did in the background. That could be it with Entree and streaming for this year with Camogie. But hopefully you have enjoyed our coverage. It's over to the national broadcaster now for the remainder. Maybe we might get a replay in there. Who says we won't, judging by the 2 teams that came out of action here today. But thanks everybody, and Luke again. My name has been Killian Whelan. Good evening to you.